Hiring the best home inspector and, most importantly, hiring an experienced buyer agent will make it all go smoothly. For a list of 17 essential buyer agent services and a list of the best lenders and local inspectors, call Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group at 221-2883 or 551-0225.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage. For years, I've been asking you to call me at Alabama Home Mortgage because there is a difference in mortgage companies. When you call Alabama Home Mortgage, you will immediately see the difference in pricing. Not only do we offer the most competitive rates, but our closing costs rank among the lowest in the industry. How do we do it? Because we can. We do not have the overhead that big banks and lenders do. Those big banks and lenders have big expenses. And what do? They pass those expenses along to you. Meanwhile, here at Alabama Home Mortgage, we receive wholesale rates which result in big savings that we pass along to you. Don't pay more for less. Give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time. Our rates and pricing are just one difference that sets us apart from the rest. It's not just a slogan. Call Alabama Home Mortgage because, folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586-36-8, Equal Housing Lender.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Hey, miss, I don't mean to be telling tales out of school, but there's a fella in there who'll pay you $10 if you sing into his can. I'm not here to make a record, you dumb cracker. They broadcast me out on the radio.
Joey Clark.
Welcome into News and Views in the afternoon, or as we call this thing online, Joey Clark Live. Eddie Vader's in the studio with me. How you doing? I'm doing all right. Yeah. How you doing?
I might.
All right.
You gonna be moody today?
I'm gonna try not to.
Say something about lack of sleep, and now
I didn't sleep very well. I didn't sleep very. Only 4.5 hours.
Ooh, that is a.
Yeah, it's not a lot. But I think I'm so tired that I'm a little more low key.
We'll
see what the day brings
see.
as I get talking about the news. But back from it definitely wasn't long enough for him. Vacation. We have the one, the only Jeff Poor, host of the Jeff Poor Show there in the Mobile area, 106.5 FM if y'all want to check it out. And then, of course, editor-in-chief there at 1819 News. Jeff, how you doing this afternoon?
Doing well, Joey. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for being on. So, I mean, how do you feel just hopping back into the hosting chair, back into your regular day job, seeing the news you missed? I think it's informative maybe for folks who don't do this every day. What is it like having to come back to this crazy world?
It makes you, because I never take vacations, and it makes me wonder why I don't take more vacations. When I come back and I'm like, oh, not this again. It's like the bad sequel or something.
Yeah, and everybody's now on the latest kick is let's give Donald Trump advice. The Mooch, who is somehow still around. I thought that was the best week in the Trump White House when Scaramucci became press secretary. He's now suggesting there's a shakeup at the top levels with Trump's campaign manager and the like. Do you buy that? And do you buy this latest campaign from Nikki Haley to everybody with a big Twitter profile saying Trump should do this, Trump should do that?
I don't think the Trump campaign's done anything wrong. They're just not. It's like the problem for the Trump campaign is going from playing Joe Biden, which is sort of like playing Mercer or something, and now you have Harris, who I don't think by any stretch of the imagination is like a Saban-esque, well-oiled Alabama machine, but it's like playing Arkansas or Mississippi State or something. Maybe you need to crank it up a little, but I don't think they're doing anything terribly wrong.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think it's a lot of folks freaking out with, it really has been impressive, while also incredibly frustrating. But this rebranding of Kamala, it seems to be effective for the time being. Is it just because she's a woman and not old Joe?
She's not old Joe, and there was a lot of long faces after that first debate, and then obviously the assassination attempt. And that's, I mean, had that assassination attempt not had happened, Biden might still be the nominee, but they just couldn't. They couldn't do it, could they? I guess. So I don't know. It's funny watching the Democrats sort of reinvent Kamala Harris, but I guess at some point she's got to. I don't know how much longer she could play this game. It's working for her, but does it last forever?
How much power do you think the, say, corporate media centers still have compared to newer ones? I know we are always having this conversation, but it's good to kind of see, they've made some pretty drastic moves, as we just discussed. So how much power do you think they still have over, say, the average American voter's mind and opinion?
Way more than I would have thought. I think the part of the reason she is faring, Harris is faring so well right now is because of the media. Just like if you and I, Joey, walked around somewhere downtown Montgomery and just started asking people, what do you think of Kamala Harris, or say something like, what's her big accomplishment? Or, I mean, we probably get a lot of blanks, but there's nothing really to knock her on. Now there's plenty to knock her on, but as far as like for the public consumption, and this is just this rebranding, this blank slate by the media, and I think there's some value to that, and corporate media still is relevant.
One thing that I'm a little worried about is the despair on the right, which isn't always, I think, ill-informed or unjustified, but the folks think it's rigged anyway. Like, I'm looking at a Politico headline that says the nation's best hackers found vulnerabilities in voting machines, but no time to fix them. And that just adds to so many other things we could lay on the table, where I think there are a lot of folks who think, well, this is already rigged, the fix is already in.
Well, I mean, like, let me ask you that. I mean, like, I think there's aspects, but I don't think you can rig an election. I think that you can change it in the margins. The reason 2020 went the way it did is because it was just too close, and what they were able to change the rules of the game was just enough for Joe Biden. Remember, it took like 8 days for the Associated Press to call the race for Joe Biden in 2020. I don't think they could do that again. I don't think they get the benefit of the doubt this time, Joey. So I think in a lot of states, particularly like Georgia, have done things to make it harder for these for this cheating to take place. Everything lined up just right, just like it did for Trump in 2016. Everything lined up just right for Biden in 2020. The electioneering aspect to elections, I don't know that you can. That you'll be able to get away with it. You got to have something else in the tank this go around.
No, and I'm seeing reports that even in Asheville, North Carolina, there's lines around multiple blocks, like huge crowd showing up for a Trump rally. So I think it's just going to be Trump doing more rallies, more podcast appearances, more network appearances, do the debates, like harangue and hassle Harris to do more than one debate, and then we'll see where it goes. But, of course, at 1819news.com, I think my piece I put out this week, and I barely had to lift a finger. I just had a conversation with a robot. It's still doing very well, because I think folks, and I was shocked, when I asked it, when was Trump shot, it said that's not credibly sourced. Like, there's no sources saying Trump was ever shot. That's the obvious, overt, like, filter parameter, say, a programmer put on it. When I see stories like Google blames a glitch for how the Harris campaign was able to trick internet users, it's these subtle ways where the information is constantly manipulated, and the average bear is not going to do that 2-3 extra clicks to actually get to stories. They're just taking what Google populates on their page.
Well, boy, they'll crack down on the right when they when they use these tools to their advantage, and it's Russian Trump campaign collusion or whatever. They freak out about it, but no, I just think the left plays this game really well, this online warfare. But once again, though, I mean, like, how much does that matter? I really believe, Joey, that it's going to come down to how if they're able to really pull this off and how they brand Harris. We have a very superficial society, And I think a lot of the votes that are up for grabs right now, it's just a lot of uninformed people. What happens then? And that's still an unknown to me.
Now, what'd you make of the Elon Musk Donald Trump conversation that supposedly broke the internet?
Yeah, I mean, not much. I didn't think there was much that was remarkable, but I just think the way people reacted to it is the story. Like, oh, I mean, the threats from the left, the threats from the EU, and you and I were talking about it this morning on my program. It's just like the way they are acting about Elon Musk in a lot of ways is how they acted about Rush Limbaugh in the 90s, how they acted about Fox News coming on the scene, and now this new media, and they just really don't like it when they don't have a monopoly on the message.
Yeah, and it really is. I hate it when I'm right about certain things. I keep saying, and I've been saying for years, especially in the thick of election cycles, everything you see is sort of a Rorschach test. And what you take away from, say, J.D. Vance sitting down with Jonathan Karl on ABC or Dana Bash on CNN, you're more bringing your own priors and own temperament to bear reacting to that. So I guess I'm revealing myself. I thought J.D. Vance did a great job this past weekend. But, of course, everybody else is spinning it the other way, on the other side of the aisle. And it just seems like so much – who's actually in the persuadable middle? Because so much seems to be,
It's people who just aren't informed enough. They don't have an ideological backbone or core. And they just sort of like I said, I like the way Kamala Harris's hair is. Or I don't know. I like whatever. It's that kind of stuff that's really kind of weird. To steal a term from the Harris campaign. So how much is up for grabs? It's just can they make Kamala Harris the female Barack Obama? I think is going to be that's what they need to pull it off.
And we shall see. I think Obama literally had chops and an actual grassroots backing. We'll see if they can materialize it for Harris. I suspect at some point she's going to fall flat on her face. But before I let you go, real quick, it seems like there's a big hullabaloo. I honestly have not been paying detailed attention to it. Say up in Albertville about immigrants being brought into the state, and it's long been a destination, I guess, for legal immigrants, but a lot of illegal folks being bussed in there. Like, what's going on?
Well, they're Haitian refugees, and I don't think they are necessarily legal, or I don't think that's been determined. But Joey, we paved the pathway with gold for these businesses to come to Alabama to put their chicken processing plant or their auto manufacturing plant or whatever it is. We do it in a way that is very beneficial to them. And it just feels like these businesses just take advantage of the situation. So here's the deal, though. Like, you hear the business community say jobs, and then you see something like this happen. Well, they're not really employing the people who live there. They're just bringing their own labor, and they're just sort of using the resources of the area, be it the water, the sewer, be it the also the people coming there using the public schools or whatever. But I think that's where the outrage is sort of coming from.
Yeah, and I think also plenty of people feel powerless, like they're not in the know. It doesn't feel like a community. It feels like, yeah, we gave you this big old plot of land, this golden platter, and now you're just doing what you will with no regard to the rest of us. So people don't want that in they don't want that in their community. And I mean, there's some of this. It does change the complexion of your community, but it's just why is it happening? It's because which chicken processing isn't necessarily the cleanest of industries is coming in, and they're bringing these people, and we didn't really have a discussion about it. They're kind of doing it in the dark at night. They feel like, and I guess I'm glad to see that people are finally pushing back against it. Yeah, and we'll see. Keep watching out across the state because who knows when this might pop up. But I appreciate your time as always. If folks want to check out what you're thinking about, writing about, how can they do so?
Twitter.com/Jeff_Poor. And thanks for having me on, Joey.
Thanks, Jeff. Talk again soon. Again, folks, Jeff Poor there. And yeah, I haven't I don't live in Albertville, so I'm kind of like,
You should visit a chicken plant. It would be very educational.
How would it be educational for me to visit a chicken plant?
It's important that because you are a guy that likes to cook, and
Sure,
it's important to
a
see
few
where your
things.
food comes from.
Yeah,
and how
yeah.
it's prepared before you get it.
Oh,
you know, Joey,
right.
it doesn't just magically appear at the store.
Right.
It has to happen.
No, they kill animals.
Yeah,
And they taste really good.
they do.
Yeah. Did you see the Norm Macdonald clip I sent you today?
I just saw it a few minutes.
It's pretty
ago. I haven't
great.
got to watch it.
Yeah. Maybe I'll have to pull that up.
Oh,
Because it's that funny
good?
to me. Yeah, he's like, I'm a vegetarian now, and it goes wrong from there. So, chicken plant. Yeah, maybe I'll just steal Mike Rowe's thing. I'll just start doing dirty jobs, Alabama.
after I saw the very first episode of that, I thought it'd be really cool. After the first episode, I was like, nope, I'll let him do that. I want no part of that. I remember one of the ones he jumped down in like a grease trap sewage thing, and I was like, I'm out.
Or the, would you want to, I think it was the Golden Gate Bridge.
Couldn't do it, man.
Climbing that thing? And no.
I'd get about maybe 20
no thank
feet up, and I'd be one of them guys that freeze. Just
No, I fear I would get the call of the void.
Mm.
The call of the void. Y'all know what that is.
I
Where you're
think
in a high spot
my mother
and you
had
just
that.
feel like you want to go towards the ground.
Traumatic childhood
It's not like
story.
a suicidal ideation. It's more just like you kind of get sucked down into it.
Tragic childhood story. We're in North Carolina with my mother. We're going up Gold City, I think is what it's called. Going up the ski lift in the summertime, and she got that.
Really?
We're at the top.
In the top on the ski
at
lift.
the peak. We're probably 40 feet from unloading.
And you're strapped in, right?
They got the little T-bar over you.
Oh.
So, and she's
like you're at the fair on the
yeah,
zipper.
and I'm like literally 10 years old, maybe
Yeah.
9 years old. She looks over at me. She goes, "I just feel like I want to jump." I'm like, "What? We're almost at the top." Then it stops. We have to stop for a minute. We're swinging. She's like, she's looking down. She's doing that whole. I did not appreciate that. And then she ended up walking down. She didn't take the ski lift down.
But I mean, she was all right. She didn't like follow up going, "Oh, I just want
No,
to
but-
end this hellish facade,
No, but that probably was really
this
going through my mind.
tragedy that we call life."
But 5 to 7 minutes of her looking down at the ground was very uncomfortable for me because I could just see her going whoop,
What was that sound?
whoop. Yeah. I just remember, making me sweat just thinking about it again.
So let's go to line 3. You're on there. Who's this?
This is Bob.
Hey, Bob.
How you doing?
All right, y'all are having a good time over there this morning, aren't you?
I suppose we're trying.
I heard a discouraging comment from someone in the know on, I think it was Fox, and they were, questioning how people are voting and, the Harris-Trump thing, and they said, well, look at California. It has been corrupt and upside down for all these elections, and people keep putting the same people in office. And you could think about that with Montgomery. It's probably going to continue to happen there, but that discouraged me. But even more importantly, a very wise, deep religious pastor made a comment yesterday that I think I probably will agree with. He said he feels like America is being judged by God for all the babies that have been killed here. And further, I think that we'll know that for sure when this election occurs. If Donald Trump does not win, we can hang this up as a democracy and a republic. I mean, we're gone. I mean, to me, it's all over. And like I say, we'll know whether God's got his hand on us or not when that happens. And another thing, and this is a final comment, the scripture says God will bless anyone who blesses Israel, and he'll curse anybody or country that curses Israel. So we've always supported Israel, and I think that's part of the reason we've been blessed all over the years. But, I don't know how that's going to go in the future either. But anyway, y'all have a good day. Keep it up.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you, Bob. Let's talk about chicken coops again. Cheer up. Actually, I was about to try to one-up him, like, well, you want a despondent, depressing downer, but you just get inside this head of mine. I got plenty of that we're not a republic anymore. We haven't been for a long time. The republic was hollowed out And like a hermit crab, this oligarchy, this technocracy crawled inside. And it's been wearing the Constitution like a skin suit for a while now. We just can now see it. The average bear can see it. And so I don't know. I don't pretend to know the mind of God, especially about judgment of entire nations. I just don't. I'm much more comfortable with saying, though, I got a little trouble on Twitter the other day. It said, I think we're at the point where Americans deserve disaster. And I'm like, to be clear, I don't wish it. Like, I'm an American too, so I'm included in that deserving of disaster thing. I deserve it. And the reason I say it, though, is like the hubris. Like, we think we can always come up with some trick or silver bullet or new technology or new Band-Aid or paperclip and bubble gum to put things back together without going back to the actual fundamental basics. And it does seem like our hubris could really bite us in the butt. And that shows up in so many different ways. I think there are practical effects to this thing. Folks throw around the word sin. I like the idea, my mother was the first to even bring this up with me when I was young, that it's not so much the old man in the skies looking down at you, you can think of it that way, judging you, because you will be judged. It's more these things you do have practical consequences. And so you could be this thing. You were meant and born on this earth to be a certain thing and to live a certain way. And you know you could be that thing and live that way, and you would be happier for it. You would be able to overcome any sort of tragedy in your life if you just know you're going to set on the right path. But we all know for a fact that we step off that path. And honestly, folks in the grips of addiction, folks in the grips of depression, folks in the grips of power lust, like, I mean, all the different pathologies that are out there, often they know what they are. And they know they could have been something else, something better, but they're stuck. And the thing is, the more you sink into that muck and mire, it's tougher to change your ways and get back to how you're supposed to live. Not impossible. But I just suspect that there are a lot of folks out there in America right now who go, as a nation, we should be this thing. As a nation, we believe ourselves to be this particular thing. But if you really have to ask yourself in your heart of hearts, are we actually these things we proclaim and vaunt about ourselves? How much we praise ourselves? Are we actually these wonderful things we claim to be? Do we actually live up to the ideals we claim to uphold and say our founding documents and in so many other aspects? I suspect there are some good people. There are people better than others. Some are doing good. Some are doing wicked, awful things. But it seems our culture nationally has lost the ability to actually tackle practical problems. And in particular, they seem to have forgotten about, and I guess I'm included in this, the muscular class, or like muscular workers. And I mean that figuratively and literally. In a second, I'll read another Victor Davis Hanson piece. Him and Mike Rowe had like a 2-hour conversation about this recently, about 4 days ago. And the piece is called America's Lab Rats. And essentially, a lot of Americans feel like they're lab rats in some experiment for a coastal elite that is completely removed from the people that get the water from the ground, the people that actually process the meat that shows up at the grocery store. And there's something about those elite that are forgetting the everyday folks that feel like, am I a guinea pig? Am I a lab rat? What's this experiment that's being thrown at me? So we'll see where it goes. I, again, don't hope for disaster. I don't wish it upon Americans. But you tend to get the dream you deserve from what you value the most. And you have to ask Americans, what do you value the most? Some might be good little boys and girls and say God. And some people might actually believe that and actually value God the highest. But when you look at folks' practical life, what sort of other idol are they worshiping? Especially as Americans. Let's be honest. You get the dream that you deserve from what you value the most, as the song says. 272-9228. So how about that, Bob? You think you could have those sort of thoughts? I can have those thoughts too. Don't tempt me. I like having those thoughts. I almost enjoy my misery, Eddie.
I know it seems to be a comfortable spot for you.
Yeah. Don't you dare.
No, I'm not being ugly.
No.
I've noticed that, and I'm not being ugly at all. I've got. Sometimes it's easier to go to your comfort zone.
Well, it feels more
where you
honest. Like,
Right.
I also
But
laugh
you
a
could-
lot. Like, last night, my grandfather and I watch, I don't watch every Rogan episode, but I watch it based on guests.
Yeah.
Adam Sandler's on.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
And man, it made me want to rewatch every Adam
Yeah.
Sandler movie. How formative those movies were for me and my generation. And like how great that guy is.
Okay,
when
well-
you look back at everything he's done in a
Oh, yeah.
conversation like that, it's like, dadgum. And I'm just laughing for 3 hours through that.
One of my biggest takeaways, though, and it killed me when he said it. When he was on Saturday Night Live, he was like, I used to think I was pretty good looking.
Yeah. How,
like, what?
how delusional he was.
Right.
He said that
It
about
was
himself.
hysterical.
He's like, I would go up and bomb and be like, oh, these people just don't get it yet. Say, I am the complete opposite. I'm full
Me
imposter
too.
syndrome.
Me too. When he said that, I just died laughing. He's like, yeah, it took me a little while to realize I'm not the best looking thing out there.
Right. So, yeah, there's a lot of wonderful in life. I just got new pictures of my new, my niece,
But you
Lucy.
gotta go-
And it's just, there's wonderful things out there. But
You got to go find them, man.
if I'm being honest, like when I look and have to consume this political stuff every day, it's,
Yeah,
we're not going in the right direction. And I'm not even talking about who you're voting
You're
for
right.
in November.
But a lot of times in life, and this happens to me all the time, I just get in such a low. And you know me, I'll just get in a low for nobody can tell why. I don't know why. But it takes me physically, I have to get myself out of it. And usually me doing something for somebody else, just that random act of kindness, it changes my perspective.
No.
It's one thing that I know will always bring me out of those lows.
Well-
And so, I mean, I know how you get, it's a comfort zone for me too, to go in that wallowing place.
Mhm.
But just take the 5 minutes and go, I can get myself out.
Oh, yeah. Like, go
Don't
eat
waller
some-
there too long.
Go eat some milk and cookies. And then you eat too many.
And
And,
then
you're
I
like,
waller back
now
in
I'm
it."
in a
Yeah,
different
exactly.
hell.
Right.
The hell of gluttony.
Right.
But it tastes good. I can't breathe anymore, but you know how you've
Yes.
eaten so much?
Yes, I have been there.
272-9228. Maybe I need to not sleep more often. I'm feeling good now after venting all that. This part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health. And they're at Montgomery Men's Health, well, they're ready to help you men out,
Yes, they
especially
are.
if you're experiencing particular symptoms. Could be you have ED.
Yeah.
Or it could be even worse than that. You're just never in the mood. You have like no sex drive to speak of. And say you lack energy, you lack drive in
Yeah.
general, not just your sex drive. You're seeing a loss of muscle mass, somewhat weight gain, and you haven't changed your routine. You still work out, you're eating about the same, but you're starting to just notice your whole body slowing down on you and you don't feel that edge mentally. Could be a sign that you're suffering from low testosterone. This happens to guys, especially as they get in their 50s and 60s. But unless you're Eddie, he's over here cooking still. It's crazy.
That's
What a
a genes.
man. What a man.
Genes of the rat.
But there's also guys in their 20s and 30s who are experiencing
Oh, yeah.
this problem more and more. So what you need to do is go by Montgomery Men's Health. The providers there can conduct a testosterone-focused lab test, lab workup, plus a consultation for only $99. And they have low T treatments that can truly change lives. Men can experience better gains in the gym, higher energy. Brother. Better mental clarity. I switched it up on
Yeah.
him, brother. Oh, I've flown with the eagles and I'm slithered with the snakes and everywhere in between. But I'm telling you, brother, if you go to Montgomery Men's Health, they can help you across the board. Higher energy, better gains, better mental clarity, sleep, faster metabolism,
better life,
increased
man.
libido. You're just going to feel better. So check them out today. You can actually book the same day that you call. That number 440-3663. That's 440-3663. Or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com to book your appointment today. If you want to get in on the conversation, that's 334-272-9228. Got a couple of folks on hold. Y'all stay put and y'all join in.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
This is your roving reporter, and today I am talking with an elk. Hey man. Mr. Elk, I was just wondering, what do elk do to take care of their money? Well, like most smart folks, we call David Erdit. You mean Alabama's most favorite asset preservationist? That's him, man. We call him up at 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. I see. Yes, he is our preferred money man. The money man with the money plan. You've been paying attention. Well, could you give us those numbers one more time? 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. And I just want to try to give you a heads up, man. Oh, what's that? I'm not an elk. Not an elk, huh? Well, then, pray tell, what are you? Knights of Columbus. I am not even going to make a comment. Well, the baby liked it.
Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate. And look at you, hands perfectly placed on the wheel. Not like the driver to the right of you who's really going after that drum solo. Save with DriveWise and the Allstate app and only pay a rate based on you.
Not available in every state, subject to terms and conditions. Rating factors and savings vary, and in some states your rate could increase with high-risk driving. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Okay, raise your hand if you want to make your life a little bit easier. Great. Now raise your other hand if you like to be comfortable. Perfect. Now that you have both hands raised, imagine putting on your shoes. And that, folks, right there is your answer to an easier, more comfortable life. Go hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins. This is footwear you don't need your hands to put on. They can be raised in the air, and you can just step it and go. Why don't you experience what people can't stop talking about? Life-changing Skechers Slip-ins. Get your Slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Jessica Pig here with Pig Enterprises. Blue Water Broadcasting has been a major part of our continued growth, connecting us with the right customer base at the right time, helping us to get you behind the wheel of quality pre-owned vehicles for the past 20 years. If you're looking to maximize your advertising potential, Pig Enterprises believes you'll get a squeal of a deal from Blue Water Broadcasting.
Radio works. It's as simple as that. Call us to find out how radio can work for your business. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
Rich Thomas weather brought to you by Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Truckers, if you are looking for green grass, contact Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. In business since 1959 and still growing. Call today, 855-777-9785.
Rich Thomas weather. Well, hi, everybody. Maybe a few subtle changes to our forecast starting to evolve. I mean, we're still sunny and hot with highs in the upper 90s and triple-digit heat indices. However, a few blips may start to form on the radar later on this afternoon and this evening. And in fact, that'll be the case right on through the end of the week and over the weekend as well. Widely scattered. Good luck on your rain chances. Lows at night will be in the middle 70s. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
John Bobo with Capital Tractor. Have you heard the news? Capital Tractor will soon be moving to a brand new location in Montgomery. With lots of Kubota inventory, we're going to sell it instead of move it. Our big moving sale is a great time to get a great deal on a Kubota at Capital Tractor in Montgomery.
All the headlines the mainstream media won't touch. Your News Talk station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. To news and views in the afternoon. Real quick, I had that Norm Macdonald clip on my mind.
Norm Macdonald?
About being a strict vegetarian.
His own meat that he kills now. Have you read that? I was wondering, what are you adhering to
I'm a
lately,
vegetarian, a strict vegetarian.
No, have you done that?
Well, I eat chicken.
It's not all that.
That's not vegetarian. I'm not. I said I'm not strict. I eat chicken and
steaks.
Or ate raw game. Did you ever eat? It's not dead yet.
No, you're
and
over
you
that.
eat it, and as you're eating it, their death throes are making you hungry. That's better than a soybean.
Yeah, you're right, Matt.
What sounds better, that or soybean?
Listen, some of the best meals I've had is that Mongolian thing over at Dahmer's on Wednesday night.
Oh man, I wonder Whatever happened to Dennis Miller? Because that was from his show.
I don't know, dude. He was. I was wondering if it was a Chappelle moment where he had enough and he was just done.
Heck, maybe we should look him up and invite him on to just hang out because I
still
love
does
that guy.
Facebook, or not Facebook, but YouTube stuff like on other people's shows once in a while. But it's very clippish, not very, not like a whole show or nothing.
Yeah, we should look into that.
I did. I thought he was great.
Let's go to Simpler Days. How you doing, Simpler Days?
Oh, well, pretty good. Joey, you were talking about earlier about experiments. You know that we're in a social justice experiment in Montgomery right now.
Oh, no doubt about that.
It's been going on since the mayor got elected, and it will continue to go on. And it's, you remember the iconic scene from Gone with the Wind where Rhett and Scarlett are sitting there and watching Atlanta burn, and they're sitting there on the railroad track. They're waiting for the Confederate soldiers. They're bailing out of Atlanta, and they set it on fire because they don't want the Yankees to get a hold of it.
Right.
And Scarlett's saying to Rhett, tell them to hurry up. Tell them to hurry up. We got to get across. And Rhett turns to her and says, Scarlett, you know that when they go, the last semblance of law and order will go with them. Well, that's where we are. And Joey, you're going to be a living legacy of this. You're going to be able to tell your grandchildren one day of how it was before, like when you were growing up, and now the new Montgomery. And see, when the mayor came in, his mission was to dismantle the Montgomery Police Department. Not by, and that's why he keeps his nose so close to the vice president. He wants to be, because she was about defunding. And see, he's about depolicing. And so they're bosom buddies. And this is going on as, you know, we're caught up in all this other stuff. But I heard a conversation today, and it involves the sheriff's department. And the sheriff's department has gone to the county commission, to Doug Singleton, and asked for 10 deputies because they're so short, because they're having to cover calls in Montgomery. They're being asked to respond to the rash of burglaries in McGee Estate, help patrol the city, and now with the increasing, population of the county and Pike Road, they're stretched. So they've gone to the county and asked the county to give them the money to hire 10 deputies to help out. And the county commission says, well, no, we can't do that because our money is being spent on the $2 million we just gave to Whitewater. See, that's where the priorities are in Montgomery. And the sheriff's department goes to the city council, and Glenn Pruitt says, can we at least pay the overtime? And the mayor says, no. See, we are watching Montgomery burn. And you're going to be able to tell it one day, Joey, to your grandkids and how it was before this social justice experiment took over.
Well, first I have to find a woman I can stand.
Well, I'm sure Eddie's got some connections to some of his old connections over in Highland Gardens or Chisholm that might have a few young maidens that might still be available.
Oh, they'd love to move right out of the hood, Joey.
Overall,
moving on up.
No, I think I'm going to the country and saying yeehaw. All right.
Well, we know Eddie built up his stamina back in the day when he started out with his boys' club in Chisholm.
That was a great place. Kept me out of trouble for a couple of years.
It was a great sweat box, a good place.
It was
Talk
a
about
sweat box,
experiments,
man.
social experiments, all right.
Metal building with a hard concrete floor. Yeah, sweat box.
Y'all have a good day.
Appreciate
You too,
it.
Simpler Days.
Let's go to Crawdad. Hey, Crawdad.
Good morning.
Morning, Crawdad.
Good afternoon.
I
I hear so much on not only your program, but the programs from the other gentlemen and the ladies. It is nice to have mental exercise, being enjoying at the same time listening to you all. But I do want to say one thing before I forget. One reason I called several times, I'm thinking, when Bossman Rick Peters putting you replaying late at night, that is very, very pleasurable and appreciate. So I hope Boss Man is listening. That it's always great to have you guys at before the midnight hour again. You see.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
No, I wanted to say that's fantastic. You're much more entertaining and informative, even more so than that bald-headed guy in Nashville, which he's still nice and all that. But that program, you know what I'm talking about, the Dave, what's his name?
Yeah, I didn't. Dave Ramsey, though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you know. I'm glad you're bumping some of his time off because you guys are better. Also, you guys are local. I need to hear more about not only national, but I need to hear about my local. You guys nail that. Number 2, please. If what Eddie said something a little bit ago, if you want to deal with somebody, 2 things. You must have trust. And I would not use anybody else in the world of real estate other than Eddie Bader and company. So I say that because I will not tell you a story. That man knows how to fish, too. And then this other thing. There's one of your sponsors I have not visited. It's very important. The issue of testosterone. This is a very holistic, even if someone is not having this, that, or the other problems, etc., that they can help you with. We all need to boost holistically our endocrine system.
Sure.
If you are a genetic male and you're not confused and you are knowing that you are a male, regardless, your testosterone part of your endocrine system, holistically speaking, is so important for your all well-being. You must go and visit them. I am really having to thinking because of my old age. You know, I need to have a booster.
Yeah.
STP in your gasoline.
Yeah, buddy.
MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com or 440-3663.
There you go.
Appreciate it, Crawdaddy. I got to run.
See you, Crawdaddy.
Let's
Thank you, brother.
go to line 1. Yeah, kind words. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, guys. This is Bill.
Hey,
Hi,
Bill.
Bill.
So a caller or 2 ago was talking about the city, and I will tell you that it runs much, much deeper than what he said. They're after federal money to correct the issues that are going on in Montgomery. And just a few months ago, the city was in a quandrum of how to spend all the extra money they had. The COVID money.
Mm-hmm.
So this crap about people, they can't pay people.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to all that money? What is the first responsibility of the mayor of Montgomery, Alabama?
Public safety.
There you go. Do I need to say any more?
Nope.
So if the city has a dime, they need to spend 11 cents of it to protect our people here in this city. The fact that our county sheriff, and don't get me wrong, I don't like our county sheriff. He is not what we need. He is not a constitutional law officer. If you don't believe it, call him and ask him, does he belong to the constitutional sheriff's committee? He doesn't. He's not on the list. So if he says he is, he's not telling you the truth.
Well,
but that is a lot of the issue right there. The other question I got is for Eddie. Eddie,
yes, sir.
Did you get the TikTok that I sent you that's Elon Musk and Trump?
Yeah.
Did you show it to Joey?
I have not. I can, but I haven't.
What is it? Them dancing?
Is it hilarious?
It's pretty good. It's
yeah,
pretty good.
Elon shared it
Yeah.
on Twitter and said
figured-
haters will call this CGI or AI.
Yeah.
I thought it was hilarious. I mean, I was in the floor laughing when I saw it.
Well, I appreciate the call, Bill.
Hey, thank you, Bill.
Y'all have a great day.
You too, bro.
See, I've always been a support your local sheriff guy.
Me too.
So just because he didn't want to join some club.
Nah, I like Cunningham. Good guy.
Yeah. Let's go to line 3. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, gentlemen, this is Babs. How
Hey,
y'all
Babs.
doing?
All
today?
right.
Wonderful.
Babs,
How are you doing?
I'm really doing good. It's amazing. I'm an old woman. But I was wondering, now I just started listening. I have an exercise class and then I have to shower, so I just started listening. Have y'all talked about what I saw on Fox last night? And while I'm thinking about it too, I like Sheriff Cunningham. But Fox News last night said that the EAU has threatened Elon Musk for things that he has put on, I guess, his ex. Did y'all see that? Have you heard it?
Yeah, the European Union's
They
definitely
put out some
been,
threats for him.
Threatening.
Yeah.
They threatened a man in the United States.
Well, they threatened all of us, actually, because whatever their head law guy said, if you put any kind of thing out that we find offensive, we'll come arrest you too.
It is unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm trying to get arrested over there. Get a free
We
ride.
are in so much trouble. And what's going on over there, hey, that's what's going to have to happen here in the United States.
Well, the biggest
People got to wake up.
one of the biggest differences they have over there is they don't have a First Amendment, but also they're not a well-armed society.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Listen, I tell you all the time, I listen. I love both you guys. I'm going to meet y'all one of these days. Joey, you're just going to have to find an older woman that finally got some sense about her. Not as old as me, but an older woman.
Older
Because
woman.
they're as bad as young guys. They don't have, their brain's not fully developed anymore. All right, love you guys.
Thank you,
Have
Babs.
a great rest of the day.
You too, honey.
Bye.
Thanks, Babs. Yeah, I should sign up for Bumble, like fully developed prefrontal cortex required.
Well, look out. That's going to be empty for a while.
Yeah. Sign up on Bumble and go, no baggage.
And still no messages today either.
Yeah. Hey, I speak in public for a living, and I say a lot of stupid crap constantly. You cool with that? Yeah, that's weeding out the
Vacant.
whole. Yeah. You can't say that. I did.
Yeah.
I can say all sorts of things.
Can't say that, Joey.
Would you pick up the trash?
Oh, I don't.
Why do I have to remind you to do the basic things?
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Elevate your home with the timeless elegance of Cabinet Renovations LLC. For over 40 years, Eddie Basham has been Montgomery's trusted name in kitchen and bathroom cabinet makeovers. From classic designs to modern updates, they craft beautiful cabinets and countertops to fit your style. And with up to 18 months interest-free financing, it's easier than ever to get started. Contact them today at 334-279-7152 or visit CabinetRenovationsLLC.com. Cabinet Renovations LLC, where your home's new look begins.
Who's there? It's Bill, the electrician, here to make your home burglar-proof.
Oh, thank goodness. I thought maybe you were an intruder.
No, ma'am. I'm a burglar's worst nightmare.
If your house doesn't have sufficient outdoor lighting, it's a prime target for intruders. That's why you should call Crosby Electric today.
How's it going, Bill?
Just fine, ma'am. See, when your intruder trips this wire, it grabs him by the foot and hangs him upside down.
Really?
The experts at Crosby Electric will install lighting that not only discourages intruders, but also makes it safer for you and your guests to navigate around steps, pools, and other tripping hazards.
Bill, is that contraption safe?
Oh, sure. It's disarmed now, but...
Bill!
Like I said, I'm a burglar's worst nightmare.
I see.
You mind cutting me down, ma'am?
Avoid your worst nightmare. Call the outdoor lighting experts at Crosby Electric or visit crosbyelectric.com.
Welcome to Epicure and Jack's Tavern, where they cherish their seniors. Dive into their $9.99 senior-sized meat and 3 lunch specials, Tuesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Each meal comes with a refreshing drink and a roll. It's time to savor the flavors that feel like home. Epicure and Jack's Tavern, where tradition meets taste.
Brunch lovers rejoice. Every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., Epicure and Jack's Tavern offers an exquisite brunch menu alongside their meat and 3 specials. Start your weekend right with the best local flavors. Remember, they're in the old Fantail building waiting to make your Saturday special.
We get Montgomery talking 24 hours a day. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon, or as we call this thing online, Joey Clark Live. This part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services, and they're at Pest Pro Ashley, and that fantastic team are ready to help you with all of your pest control problems.
Yep.
Could be a particular job like getting a mosquito treatment done or knocking out those nasty, army worms?
Yes. Dude, they do some damage to people's yard in a matter of hours.
Or maybe it's a huge wasp's nest and you're being invaded from the sky.
You mean they can't call you, Joey? You won't come take care of that, Joey?
I might. I might quit this job and just be the wasp killer.
I think so.
I don't like white Anglo-Saxon Protestants.
I've seen you in action. I don't think so.
But, of course, it can also be your everyday pest control company.
That's what you want.
They're great local folks. They've grown leaps and bounds, not only because they're just great at what they do, true pros, but they are also easy to work with.
Oh, yeah.
So check them out today. They're your neighbors, essentially. That number, 265-9990. That's 265-9990. Or you can always go to ppsriverregion.com or just search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces. When you want to know, call a pro. Pest Pro Services. And be sure to tell Ashley and that great team that Joey and Eddie, those fellas on the radio, sent you. Let's go to Mr. Pink.
Hey, Mr. Pink.
How you doing?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good, man.
All right, good. I called, I didn't want to stir nothing up, but I wanted to call and ask a few questions about religion. Is that okay?
About religion? Okay.
Yes. Yeah, like Joey, you grew up Catholic, right?
Yes, Roman Catholic.
Okay, quick question. When you have to, I guess, repent or confess your sins, like you have to go through a priest, right?
Usually not. You don't have to. There is, you can say, an act of contrition, and if you actually have contrition in your heart, you really are penitent about it. Kind of the same effect, but yeah, people go to the sacrament of reconciliation, and they do that with a priest.
Okay. As long as you don't have to always go through a priest. Okay, you might have a convert right here, man.
There's a lot to Roman Catholicism. If that, just I know I'm supposed to evangelize, but
what are you saying, Joey?
Yeah, well, I've been going through my history all the way from Alexander the Great, to Christianity, Old Testament, and I've been going back and forth. Like I just didn't start last night, but I think the Catholics got it right, man, because I haven't been to church in about a decade, but I still pray with my family, my kids, my 5-year-olds, they know who Jesus. But I always felt like it was kind of like magic, like it didn't feel real to me because I always felt like you could do whatever you want to do and just say abracadabra and forget.
Yep.
And getting a little research, I thought Catholics, you couldn't just do it like that. You can't just do whatever you want to do. Like right. you have to get it right. And like I said, just doing a little research. So that's what I was thinking about.
They're
got it wrong, man.
Yeah, I think the catechism in the Roman Catholic Church is thick. There's a lot of tradition there. There's a lot of brilliant insights over the years. There are, of course, I think, bad Catholics or people that are just using the name or that's their social club. But I think everybody sort of comes from that tradition, even the Protestants that broke off and have their disagreements.
Yeah, so like I said, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. But like I said, I've been doing a lot of research, and I think we got to go back to that, man, because if you can just do whatever you want, it's like I think that's probably what's wrong with us right now.
Yeah, and it is a weird moment where even folks that were known as agnostics and atheists are now talking about God a lot, and I've heard this from a guy named Douglas Murray. There's I think it's Wiesel is the last name. He was a teenager stuck in a concentration camp, and he ended up, out of his experience studying with rabbis, writing a whole play called The Trial of God. And the actual story is one night, all the rabbis stuck in Auschwitz started to put on a trial, holding God on trial for what he had done. And they find him guilty for forsaking them and leaving them behind. And there's this weird pregnant pause there. And then finally one of the rabbis gets up and says, okay, let's go do our prayers now. There's something there, even when you try to shed that tradition, that past, you probably shouldn't, and you should go back to the ways, even if you're having trouble believing them.
I agree. Oh, yeah, and Revelations, I'm also looking at that a different way. Not as like the world ending, but as the story of what was going on back in the day. Like, leaders and, people that was ruling, taking over, and all this other stuff, making people slaves. So I'm just looking at it with a new eye.
Cool.
But like I said, I'm gonna keep going. I'm thinking about that Catholic thing because even with my children, I want them to know that you can't do wrong and just expect, oh, I'm sorry, man. Like, no, your ass got to go to jail now, brother.
Well, I kind of know the guy that runs the archdiocese for the archbishop. He's my uncle. They call him Father Bill. I call him Unc. So it'll if you do want to get into the Catholic fold, I know people. Let's just say that.
Okay, well, shoot me some information because my family grew up Catholic down here, going to Catholic school and all that, Catholic church and all that. But like I said, I'm with a mixed family, and it's like half and half.
Okay.
But I remember those foot washing.
There you go. Appreciate it, Mr.
Right,
Pick. Got to hit our top of the hour break. More news and views after this.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
Well, that's RN News. I'm John Scott. Not a good sign. A top Hamas official tells AP the group losing faith in U.S. ability to mediate a Gaza ceasefire ahead of new talks on Thursday. Ernesto strengthening into a hurricane. It's dropping torrential rain on Puerto Rico, leaving hundreds of thousands of people without power in the U.S. territory as it threatens to strengthen into a major storm en route to Bermuda, making its closest approach to Bermuda on Saturday. It's forecast to become a major Category 3 storm in the upcoming days. Death Valley claiming another victim. A California man died from overheating at the park, hiking on a day when the temperatures reached nearly 120 degrees Fahrenheit. The Dow up 227 points, the Nasdaq 36 points in the red. This is SRN News.
Our government has engorged itself on borrowed money. Now we are over $30 trillion in debt. If this bubble finally implodes, many Americans would be left penniless and heartbroken. For example, what happens if state and federal pension funds go broke? Or if 401ks and IRAs get cut in half due to hyperinflation? Hi, I'm Lance Wallnow, news analyst, best-selling author, and evangelical leader to millions of people just like you. People who understand something big is coming. Now's the time to prepare with a physical gold IRA from Birch Gold Group. Precious metals are among the most proven hedges you can make. And they're even better inside a tax advantage account. To get a free info kit on gold IRAs, text the word FAITH, F-A-I-T-H, to 989898. Birch Gold Group is the only gold company I trust. Get their free info kit and see why a gold IRA can help you. There are no strings attached, so just text FAITH to the number 989898 right now, and I pray you are blessed with continued prosperity.
Rich Thomas weather brought to you by Clark Heating, Air, and Plumbing. It's time to get your cooling system ready for the long, hot summer. Call today about the advantages of the Clark Club membership to be sure you're covered. Call 277-2125. Better call Clark. Alabama certification number 09098.
Well, hi, everybody. Maybe a few subtle changes to our forecast starting to evolve. I mean, we're still sunny and hot with highs in the upper 90s and triple-digit heat indices. However, a few blips may start to form on the radar later on this afternoon and this evening. And in fact, that'll be the case right on through the end of the week and over the weekend as well. Widely scattered. Good luck on your rain chances. Lows at night will be in the middle 70s. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
For the lowest prices around on flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies, Budget Floors and More is your new best friend. Luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, floor installation supplies, and more with prices lower than the big box stores. Budget Floors and More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey to Publix.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, here's today's top stories. A custodian at Holtville Middle School was arrested after he was found with drugs and a gun on campus. Acting on a tip, police searched 29-year-old George Raleigh to find marijuana and a loaded handgun in his possession. Police later determined the gun was stolen during a 2018 burglary in Tallahassee. A Florida teenager who was reported missing has been found safe in Montgomery. The Pasco County Sheriff's Office has been searching for 17-year-old Tishwana Durant since she was last seen on June 6th in Port Richey, Florida. The U.S. Marshals Gulf Coast Regional Task Force located her in Montgomery on Tuesday. The Alabama Department of Corrections confirmed on Tuesday the state's new mega prison in Elmore County will cost double its original projected price. The 2021 cost estimate was $623 million, but the final cost will be closer to $1.2 billion when the new prison opens next summer. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Hey folks, thank you for making CTE Outdoor Power a preferred dealer and Hustler one of the most popular riding mowers. Recently, I met a couple from Evergreen who discovered us because friends recommended both CTE and Hustler. They heard our team of friendly, helpful professionals would guide them to the Hustler model that's the best fit for them, and that because we support all the products we sell, we take the hassle out of future needed parts and service. They like Hustler because of the highest quality and warranty, and that we partner with Hustler to offer 0% interest financing. Now, if you haven't discovered Hustler and CTE yet, now is the perfect time because this month, when you mention this ad, we'll pay the sales tax when you purchase any new riding mower. Folks, can you get all that anywhere else? CTE Outdoor Power, I-85 at Perry Hill Road and CTEOutdoorPower.com.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Okay, we got to shut up now about that off-air conversation. That was very intimate stuff Eddie and I were talking about.
Wedding cake, Joey.
Wedding cake? Let's go to... Actually, what? No, shut up. Let's go to TS. Hey, TS, how you doing?
Hey, Joey, hang on a minute. I think I have you on speaker.
Okay.
Wait, don't go anywhere. This is important.
All right.
Okay, yeah, I have you on speaker. Okay, can you hear me now?
100%.
Oh, yes.
All right, this is from the top of the show, okay? And your wonderful cohort there, Eddie, suggested you go to a chicken plant, you know, where they process chicken.
He did suggest that.
Do not go. Do not go.
Do not go.
And do not watch the video like I did. Oh, no. You will never eat chicken again. I can't even buy a whole chicken and clean it anymore because I watched a video. I'm just saying.
Okay, like I honestly wasn't gonna take his advice. Like, look at me. Am I gonna listen to everything Eddie tells me? But
Joey, I don't know about all that. I'm just telling you. Okay, just go to a chicken plant. Just watch the video.
Thank you, T.S. Now you're talking my language. Go to the chicken plant, Joey.
You won't ever eat chicken again, young man. You won't ever clean a whole chicken again, because I can't anymore.
Folks,
if I do, I just regurgitate on the damn chicken.
Ugh. Folks, this is actually my mother-in-law on the line.
What?
Nothing.
How do you have a mother-in-law when you're not even damn married?
I know, I'm wondering too, but just this conversation, I feel like that's our relation.
Oh, Lord, help me, Jesus. Okay, that's all I wanted to share with you guys today.
Thank you, T.S.
Thank you, T.S. Appreciate it. Yeah, sometimes.
When's the last time you cleaned a fish?
Oh, long time ago when I was a kid.
Did it bother you?
No.
You're fine.
Yeah. Like, blood and guts never really got to me. That doesn't. Vomit does.
Vomit doesn't bother me. Poop bothers me bad.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Can't even watch the dog.
Let's go away from that. Like right now. Let's do something wholesome. Like the Taliban celebrating 3 years of being back in power. And there's a lot of, videos.
They came in at the same time Biden did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like, if you look at this.
Hey, that equipment
I'm going
looks
to turn
familiar.
that music off, but look at this.
YouTube going to call you out on that?
This is the, yeah, maybe.
Dude.
Copyright claim.
Right.
From Muhammad.
But yeah,
No,
all that
this is a
equipment-
video that we're looking at of a big parade they're putting on with all that equipment that was
looks
left
very
behind.
familiar. That equipment looks very familiar.
What the heck?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like, just look at this.
Yep.
They're very proud of themselves.
Well, they ought to be.
I wonder if Joe's proud of it.
He left it for
Because
him.
I'm happy we're out of Afghanistan, but dadgum, the way it was done was just, well, it was kind of a fitting finale. I didn't want any American dead. And 13 was too many. 1 was too many.
Right, that's my issue.
And God knows how many folks actually ended up dead or tortured or worse that we don't know about.
Right.
But in terms of the way that war went for so long, it's sort of a fitting end. It'd be one thing if right after 9/11, even Ron Paul voted to go kick some ass after 9/11.
Everybody's emotions had him. Everybody was really emotionally charged.
And our people are that good to where very quickly they had people on the run.
Yeah.
And instead of, okay, we got people on the run, we kind of showed them who's boss. No, let's stay here and fight a 1-year war for 20 years.
In the middle of a desert. You could blow that place up and no one could tell the difference from the day before.
I forget the name of the Special Inspector General for the Afghanistan war, but that guy, the report he produced, it's shocking. And this is where folks go, oh, why would you even question our system?
Yeah.
Why aren't people signing up for the military? Honestly, I think the woke thing's overblown. I think young men are not signing up for the military. You have down numbers because they've seen what you've done in the last 20 years. Now, I'm happy to have you convince young men otherwise to sign up. This is a great way not only to serve your nation, but to serve yourself and build discipline, build a life. It affected my own family on both sides, my mom and dad. It's a great way to go. But if you're being set up to fail down the wrong road.
And being sent to every war across the world for no reason at all other than you're, in their eyes, dispensable. I think a lot of people woke up to that.
And I just do wonder how so much has happened in the last 3 years that just goes down the memory hole.
Sure.
So much.
Yeah, but some of it, Joey, you can't even, you're not allowed to remember it anymore. They'll change the history of it.
Right. Literally. That's what I mean.
Exactly.
The memory hole. But, things are going to work out because inflation numbers are down, right?
That's a lie.
Well, actually, the report shows that 20% increase over the last few years.
Oh, at least.
At least. Because they often remove things like housing because it's too volatile.
And gas.
Wait, so you can't count all the inflation that's going into asset prices? That's not allowed? You can't count that as inflation? People being priced out of even thinking about owning a home, for instance? So that's not, okay. Or with fuel.
Fuel, groceries.
Oh, and with groceries, they do this wonderful trick of replacement products.
It's a lot.
So even though that nice steak you want is like $35 a pound, you could eat, choice grade and just chuck round.
What you want.
Yeah. So I don't buy it.
It's handicapped, dude.
And
the whole system is.
There are more and more folks speaking up as they do more of these focus groups. I think this was CNBC, maybe NBC. This is a woman in Philly talking about inflation.
Hard has inflation hit you?
It hit me hard. It's hitting me hard.
What do you blame for it?
I blame the federal government at this point. If a working class mom who works as a paralegal cannot buy a $2 bell pepper because it's now $5, imagine a mother living on food stamps. Imagine a mother who's making minimum wage trying to feed children. They're killing us without killing us. If you understand that. They're killing us without telling us they're killing us. They're hurting people in ways that they can't help themselves. It's either feed my child or how about feed my children and I don't, but I have to go work.
Yeah, because they want you to quit working and go on government welfare. Then we control everything you do.
That brings me to this piece. A little long, but I think it should be read. This is, again, Victor Davis Hanson, who's just been on fire lately. If you want to see a conversation about what I'm about to read, look up Mike Rowe's podcast. He sat down with Victor, and it's just fantastic, those two talking. I mean, tough topic, but fantastic conversation. And the title of this piece is America's Lab Rats. Victor Davis Hanson writes, half the country thinks something has gone drastically wrong in America, to the point that it is rapidly becoming unrecognizable. Millions feel they are virtual lab rats in some grand research project conducted by entitled elites who could care less when the experiment blows up. I mean, what did she say?
Children. They're killing us without killing us.
Consider, our military turns over $60 billion in state-of-the-art weapons to terrorists in Kabul and then flees in disgrace. Terrorist flags fly in place of incinerated Old Glory at the iconic Union Station in Washington, as radical students and green card-holding guests deface statues with threats that Hamas is coming, while spewing hatred towards Jews and all with impunity. A wide-open border with 10 million unaudited illegal immigrants. Once beautiful downtowns resembling now Nairobi or Cairo, as paralyzed mayors spend billions without a clue how to remedy the self-created disaster. Fast food drive-ins priced as if they were near gourmet restaurants. In truth, this apparent rapid cultural, economic, and political upheaval is well into its third decade. The disruptions are the result of the long-term effects of globalization and the high-tech revolution that brought enormous wealth into the hands of a tiny utopian elite. Almost overnight, every American household became a consumer of cellular phones and cameras, laptop computers, social media, and Google searches. We then entered into a virtual, soulless world of hedonism, narcissism, and the cheap, anonymous cruelty of clickbait, cancel culture, doxing, ghosting, blacklisting, and trolling. The toxic COVID lockdown and the DEI racist fixations that followed the George Floyd death only accelerated what had been an ongoing 3-decade devolution. By 2000, a former market of 300 million American consumers was widened to a globalized $7 billion shoppers. 7 billion shoppers. At least for those mostly on the two coasts whose expertise in merchandising were universalized in mega profit high tech, finance, investment, media, law, and entertainment. Americans of the 20th century had never quite seen anything like the mega global celebrities from Michael Jackson to Taylor Swift, or a Bezos fortune of $170 billion, or the sorts who fly in their Gulfstream private jets to Davos. Sun Valley and Aspen to lament the ignorance of the backwards muscular classes and to plot their noblesse oblige salvation for them. Indeed, for those reliant on muscular jobs and the production of the material essentials of life, agriculture, fuels, construction, assembly, timber, mining, and services, their livelihoods were often Xeroxed abroad. Millions of their jobs were offshored or outsourced to third and second world countries with cheaper labor, abundant natural resources, and less overhead that made investment quote-unquote wiser and more profitable. Anointed Americans in the quote-unquote soft or informational economy achieved levels of wealth never seen before in history. Meanwhile, Americans in the quote-unquote hard or concrete sectors saw stagnation in wages, job losses, and the erosion of middle-class life itself. That the universities, the media, the administrative state, entertainment, high-tech, and the federal government were mostly on the coast became a geographical force multiplier of the growing economic and cultural divide, perhaps in the manner that the Civil War became not just an ideological conflict, but one of definable geography as well. Red state and blue state cultures followed these radical displacements in the global economy. Urban bi-coastal America created an ethos and an accompanying narrative that it was blessed, rich, and all-knowing because it had been rightfully rewarded for supposedly being innately smarter, better, credentialed, more worldly, and given its wealth, more moral than the losers who fell behind. The new multi-billionaires reinvented the Democrat Party into a concord of the hyper-rich and subsidized poor, abandoning the now caricatured working and losing middle classes. Indeed, a sort of atheistic reverse Calvinism arose. The elite left-wing, moneyed classes were left-wing and moneyed precisely because of the same sort of fated reward for their obvious innate superior virtue and wisdom, even as millions fled from failing blue states to their freer and more prosperous red counterparts. An entire moral vocabulary of condemnation followed to stigmatize those who supposedly lacked the know-how or morality to appreciate their elite benefactors. Clingers, bitter clingers, deplorables, irredeemables, hobbits, chumps, dregs, and crazies. Y'all just weird. To use the parlance of Barack Obama, John McCain, Hillary Clinton, and Joe Biden. Their targets were the relics of a vanishing America who did quirky things like salute the flag, go to church, believe there were still only two sexes, honor America as always far better than the alternative, and believe they were the muscles that kept the nation fed, fueled, and housed for one more day. The chief characteristic of the 21st century American Revolution's vast recalibrations in wealth was not just the transition from the muscular to the supposedly cerebral, but from right to left. Look at the Fortune 400. There is a pattern in the rankings, mostly progressives and rich, and the winner's wealth is usually not created from old sources like transportation, manufacturing, agriculture, or construction. The real multi-billion-dollar fortunes in America are now in tech and investment. The hierarchies that own and manage Amazon, Apple, Citigroup, Goldman Sachs, Google, JP Morgan Chase, Microsoft, or Morgan Stanley are now decidedly left-wing Democrats. That 21st century reality marked a radical change from the past. Democrats now typically vastly outraise Republicans in most national campaigns. Their philanthropic foundations dwarf those of their right-wing rivals. Elite hard-left universities are flush with multi-billion-dollar endowments in a manner unimaginable just 40 years ago. And they are no longer merely liberal but overwhelmingly woke and uncompromisingly hard-left. with millions of dollars to waste on their unicorn chases of mandated equality and racist, quote-unquote, anti-racist Hollywood. The media, new and old, and Wall Street are not just far wealthier than ever, but far more intolerant and sanctimonious as well. It was not just money that gave the new left-wing oligarchy such clout in the administrative state. Wall Street, tech, and the media, the corporate world, and the university. It was the accompanying assurance that, unlike other Americans, the lab rats of the mostly rural or interior parts of the country were exempt. They were free to apply their bankrupt agendas, open borders, DEI, globalism, climate change gospels, critical legal theory, modern monetary theory, critical race theory, to distant others. They assumed correctly that they were never really to be subject to the concrete and real-life disasters arising from the implementation of their ideology. Certainly, guilt over their largesse, together with our 21st century secular update of sanctimonious New England Puritanism, explain this overweening left-wing new zealotry to change the world, but largely at others' expense. They are the descendants of Salem, who share the same superstitions and fanaticism to punish all who doubt their purity and wisdom. So arose the idea among elites of a borderless America, where yearly 2 to 3 million poor and downtrodden of Latin America and soon the world at large could surge into a humane and progressive America without the ossified and illiberal idea of background checks or legal technicalities. The arrival's abject poverty would remind the bigoted American middle classes of the need to expand their welfare state, as if a lifelong victim of the institutional oppression of, say, Oaxaca, Mexico, became a legitimate victim of white capitalist America the very moment he set foot across a now mythical border. Importing massive poverty would remind the middle classes that racism and inequality were still on the rise. The locus classicus of this self-righteousness and contrition was emblemized when a few dozen illegal aliens were redirected towards Martha's Vineyard. The locals immediately rushed to reveal to us two realities. One, shower the illegals with food, upscale clothing, and other essentials to virtue signal their universal concern for the downtrodden. And two, bust them out of the neighborhood as quickly as possible to where they, quote-unquote, belonged, either among the inner-city poor or struggling rural Hispanic communities of the American Southwest. In the abstract, open borders were what any progressive nation should aspire to. In the concrete, among the architects of such idealism, not in their backyard. Following the death of George Floyd, corporations, universities, and administrative state agencies rushed to compete to, quote-unquote, level the playing field by eroding meritocratic criteria such as calcified SAT tests, background checks, resumes, etc., and began hiring by race, gender, and sexual orientation. Tens of thousands of DEI commissars and their henchmen have now spread far beyond their birthplaces in the university, where elite schools routinely restrict so-called whites, about 65 to 70% of the population, to 20 to 40% of the incoming classes. At some Ivy League schools and their kindred elite campuses, grades are, quote-unquote, adjusted to ensure 60 to 80% are A's. Almost everything in revolutionary America has evolved beyond silly notions like meritocracy and standards and has instead become DEI hotwired. From the hiring and promotion of airline pilots, selection of actors, management of the Secret Service, and the rank and file of FBI and CIA operatives to admissions to medical school, corporate boardrooms, and advertising. In response, a dangerous underground cynicism grows commensurately. As in the old Soviet Union, so too here arises our official quote-unquote truth, beside the subterranean truth that most rely on when an incompetent Secret Service hierarchy allows a shooter to take pot shots at a president's head. Or there is a sharp rise in passenger jet near misses and go-arounds, or students in mass demand exemptions from final schedules or expect amnesties when they storm campus buildings or major corporations like Disney, Target, Anheuser-Busch, and John Deere ostentatiously virtue signal. In sum, we are knee-deep in an authoritarian commissariat that we do not even dare formally acknowledge. DEI, like open borders, was predicated on the idea that the good 1% who ran the country was too good to experience the trickle-down from the commissar system it imposed on others. Ditto the top-down green revolution. We are to assume that sweaty truckers should have no problem juicing up their battery engines every 300 miles. Hispanics in Bakersfield should appreciate turning down their air conditioning when it hits 115 degrees outside. Lower middle-class moms should learn the advantage of high-cost electric stoves and ovens once they are forcibly weaned off their cheap but too hot natural gas appliances. Meanwhile, the sales of designer Italian cooking platforms, 10,000 square foot air-conditioned second homes, the Obama Zone 3, private jets, yachts, and huge limo SUVs have reached record levels. The model is John Kerryism, or the rationale that to help the uneducated, dumber, and less moral people survive global warming, the enlightened need the tools to do it. So they must avoid messy airports, 9-hour delays due to misconnections, and the stuffy, cramped middle seat on modern commercial jets. The idea of 100 to 200,000 legal immigrants admitted annually and meritocratically, charter schools in the inner city, beefed up policing in our major urban areas, nationwide civic education, reemphasis on assimilation, integration, and intermarriage of the melting pot, wide use of nuclear power, all the things that might make life of the middle class more secure, more prosperous, and more confident are deemed corny and passé. Again, what we got in the last quarter century was a shrill elite that subjects their Jacobin theories upon a distant other, but has absolutely no intention of ever getting near the very disasters they wrought, much less suffering the collateral damage that was inevitable from their social engineering. Or to put it another way, they were to be our few genius white-coated researchers, while we were their many expendable lab rats. Of course, I didn't write that. It's Victor Davis Hanson. Pretty sweeping indictment of, he calls the bicoastal entitled elite.
Kind of nailed it.
And Mike Rowe reached out saying, I don't even have a political show, but I read that and I'm like, you would think Mike Rowe kind of knows the muscular classes, as Hanson calls it. Yeah, he said it hit him between the eyes, like, I have to talk to this guy. I don't normally talk politics. We're not going in the right direction. Doesn't mean it's inevitable that we will fade away. But we are playing with fire nonetheless. And I guess the trick, because we always look for solutions, well, in the abstract, the solution is, hey, how about y'all who impose your rules on everybody else? How about you have to live by them?
Yeah. Been for that for the get-go.
And that's the kicker that drives me nuts. It'd be one thing to say, I'm rich because I earned it, and go away, it's my money. But there are now folks who go, well, I'm rich because I'm so virtuous and moral, and I want to create equality for the world. Mm-hmm. Wow. What a mask to wear while you exploit the world. 272-9228. And what a shame it is for the sad saps who buy into it. On that happy note, let's talk about something practical.
All right.
Talk about somebody who is part of the muscular classes, and that's Reed Waters there, Clearwater's Property Management. They're putting their back into it to remove trees off your property, to trim back limbs, overhanging maybe the house or slapping against the house during a windy day.
Doing some damage.
Could be your driveway's blocked. I mean, there's all sorts of reasons things get, overgrowth happens.
Oh, yeah.
You need that cut back. of course, they can also help you with stump grinding. So if you want to get rid of that ugly stump because it's ugly, or you're worried about it attracting pests
the pests it's going to bring in.
termites and snakes and whatnot, again, Clearwater's Property Management can help you in that regard. Tree removal, tree trimming, and stump grinding. Give them a call today at 430-0376. That's 430-0376. And be sure to tell them that Joey and Eddie, those fellas on the radio, sent you.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hi, I'm Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. If you're looking for waterproof carpet, hardwood, laminate, vinyl plank, or ceramic tile, call us today for your free measure.
Prattville Carpet is a family-owned flooring store that prides itself on personal service, quality products, and guaranteed installation. From beautiful hardwood floors to luxurious smart strand carpet, Prattville Carpet has you covered. Call, come by, or online at prattvillecarpet.com.
Prattville Carpet, we're more than just carpet.
Hello everyone, Robbie Pelt with Capital City Roofing. If you think about it, your home is your biggest investment in life. Your roof covers your home, so why jeopardize your biggest investment on a roofer you don't know anything about when you can deal with a reputable roofing company like Capital City Roofing? We have an A+ Better business rating and the best manufacturers and workmanship warranties available. We do all residential and commercial roofing applications that are certified through the manufacturer to ensure you get the best material and workmanship money can buy. We also have your project in our best interest before and after construction has been done. Don't hesitate to call us if you have any roofing issues or questions. We will match any of our competitors' price and give you the same great workmanship warranty. We also give free estimates. Give us a call today and let us show you the difference. 277-3311. That's 277-3311. Or you can check us out on the web at www.capitalcityroofing.com. Capital City Roofing. We capitalize the roofing industry.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
And we call it QB reps. We rep probably 10 guys. It's just marketing and NIL. We don't do contract agent stuff.
David Morris runs Quarterback Country. He and his team prepare the nation's most elite quarterbacks to perform at the next level. Listen to What's Working Saturday noon or find us online at what'sworkingcam.com.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
This is your roving reporter, and today I am talking with an elk. Hey man, Mr. Elk, I was just wondering, what do elk do to take care of their money? Well, like most smart folks, we call David Erdit. You mean Alabama's most favorite asset preservationist? That's him, man. We call him up at 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. I see. Yes, he is our preferred money man. The money man with the money plan. You've been paying attention. Well, could you give us those numbers one more time? 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. And I just want to try to give you a heads up, man. Oh, what's that? I'm not an elk. Not an elk, huh? Well, then, pray tell, what are you? Knights of Columbus. I am not even going to make a comment. Well, the baby liked it.
Rich Thomas weather brought to you by Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Truckers, if you are looking for green grass, contact Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. In business since 1959 and still growing. Call today, 855-777-9785.
Rich Thomas weather. Well, hi, everybody. Maybe a few subtle changes to our forecast starting to evolve. I mean, we're still sunny and hot with highs in the upper 90s and triple-digit heat indices. However, a few blips may start to form on the radar later on this afternoon and this evening. And in fact, that'll be the case right on through the end of the week and over the weekend as well. Widely scattered. Good luck on your rain chances. Lows at night will be in the middle 70s. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Web Bobo with Capital Tractor. Soon we'll be moving to a brand new location in Montgomery. During our big moving sale, get a great deal on a Kubota with 0% APR up to 84 months with approved credit. Now through September 30th, 2024. See Capital Tractor in Montgomery or go to KubotaUSA.com for more details.
If it concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk 93.1. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Well, Josh Hagan on the stream saying you should listen to the lies in the press conference right now. I assume he means the White House press conference. Jobs are increasing, gas and groceries are going down.
Yesterday I paid $2.96 for gas. Today I paid $3.15 for gas. Don't know where the going down part is.
Yeah, and the second we'll play some Peter St. On saying jobs turn negative for small business, who make up nearly half the jobs in America. And they keep, revising the general numbers down, counting, part-time jobs as full-time, and it's just lies, damn lies, and statistics. Let's go to David. Hey, David.
Yeah, and ask any small business owner how easy it is to find workers.
Oh, yeah.
Still.
Right.
I mean, virtually impossible. So, don't sit there and, blow smoke up my backside and tell me otherwise. So, what a bunch of liars. Hey, did you guys watch the parade at Bagram Air Force Base this morning?
Yeah, we just pulled that up at the beginning of this hour, and I had to turn the music off. I'm worried I'm going to get a copyright strike on YouTube.
Yeah. I was watching a news segment on that this morning from BBC, and do you know how many vehicles and weapons we left there when we departed?
I don't remember the number.
We left 75,000 combat vehicles there and 600,000 weapons. So basically, the American taxpayer is basically financing terror around the world.
Yeah, I'm playing a video of the parade on the live stream. Yep, you can see all those vehicles on parade. And
nice new
attack helicopters, isn't it?
Probably 0 miles on them.
Attack helicopters, MRAP, Hummers, you name it, it's there. M1 Abrams.
Yep.
And the amazing thing is, which I was talking with someone in the military, and they said, and of course the Chinese now basically run Bagram.
Yep.
And we were talking about it, and they said, all we would have had to done was take all that equipment and all those weapons and park them on Bagram and call it a B-52 strike.
Been done.
And just blow everything to pieces. And none of that would have been there for them to use.
Right.
And it would have been a cheap and easy way to have nullified all of that equipment being left there to them.
Yeah, just looking at the photo and the video of this, it's just... and then you remember the amount of people who died, just how much was so unnecessary.
Unnecessary.
Yeah, I mean, just completely unnecessary. So, anyway, have a good one, guys.
Appreciate it, Evan.
Yeah, but when you're not going to get, what's going to happen? I lose my job? No, nothing's going to happen. You'll keep doing it.
By the way, I keep saying something else is going to happen, war is going to break out in the Middle East any day now. Or, the Russia-Ukraine conflict will get even worse. Or,
it's getting crazy.
Seen here from Colonel Douglas McGurker.
Yeah.
82 days before the election, the World Health Organization declares monkeypox a global health emergency.
We doing that again? I thought they did that like a month or so ago. Nobody listened then.
And didn't the Biden and Harris administration have that czar that was looking into the monkeypox?
Oh, yeah, no czars. No czars.
Well, he kind of looked like a czar wearing all that BDSM gear at the club.
Joey.
I mean, don't you trust somebody with nipple clamps?
Not really. That's usually one of the first things I noticed that I.
Yeah, but what if you're
Start losing
what
trust
if
in
you're
them.
going to get monkeypox? Are you going to listen to like Joey and Eddie, or are you going to listen to the guy who's got, nipple clamps and
If
and
the
like
guy's
whips and
working for our
chains?
federal government, I would listen to Joe and Eddie.
So who knows what's going to happen next? Nipple clamps. I just wanted to say it one last time. Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, this is Urban Knight.
Hey, Urban Knight.
Good. How you
Hey, you brought up a good point. Not the nipple clamp point, but you brought up a good point about.
It's fun to say, though.
About the Afghanistan weapons. I would not be opposed to doing a bombing raid, taking out all the places we know we left them. I'm sure we could find out on satellite.
Well, they just had it on a parade. They could have just gone to that parade there.
Probably pretty easy.
Yep.
You think most taxpayers would be okay with that?
Yes, I do. At this point right now, yeah, I think a lot of them would consider that a win.
I mean, just to say they don't have it anymore, And like, what you going to do about it, What
I
you
can't
gonna
have
do
it. Nobody can.
There you go. Yeah. You know what? I think about the thing with Trump and his history of doing things and letting other people do the legwork or do the heavy lifting. And he sits back, which is good management, and it always gives you that plausible deniability.
Right.
I have to wonder if he would have ended up with almost the same nightmarish situation on the exit. I know, you had them scared not to hurt anybody before they left, but the day that they actually would leave, I guarantee it would have been a show, even with him.
It's possible, though. Like you said, Trump had scared the living crap out of them, and not a single American had been harmed for, a year. And I also think the Trump timeline was much shorter. They're ready to sort of get out, and Trump insists he wanted to keep Bagram. I don't know about that, but who knows?
That part too, and that right there tells you right there they wouldn't sit down there and take that.
Yeah,
I guarantee that wouldn't be a final decision on their behalf, because that would defeat the purpose of getting rid of the infidels.
True,
because the infidels have the big pretty base.
Yeah,
it was stupid to build a base there in the beginning anyway.
100%.
I'll leave that up to history,
That's stupid.
While we tried to change hearts and minds, which is something I really hated, because I hated training your school back in my day. I'm like, isn't this the PTA's job, not mine? I used to hate that crap, though. I felt, what was that book we had to read in school, the one about Huck Finn? I felt like I was being Huck Finn every time.
You want to paint this fence. Sure is fun.
One of those quote-unquote civic projects.
Yep.
Especially in cities that are way wealthier than Montgomery. So, doing crap like that in Sacramento was an insult to me. That's the land of, California has literally 150 billionaires that live there. If you remember what it was like when Blunt, if you remember what it was like when Blunt was alive, imagine having about 50 Blunts in your town.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'll leave it there. And it was nobody there needed anything. Yeah, everybody wanted stuff, but they didn't need stuff, I can promise you. And we gave good volunteer labor, like good stupid soldiers.
Yep.
Have a good one.
Appreciate it, overnight. 272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by All Pro Heating, Air, and Electrical. And they can, of course, help you with that HVAC system, or if you're looking to have your electrical system checked out, they can do that. Just sort of overlook, make sure
Good
everything's in good tip-top shape.
Get a good inspection.
And they can also help you upgrade. Whether you're talking about your HVAC system, it's about time.
Could be.
Especially if it's making noise. If it's rumbling, that's a problem.
I think it's smart to get in front of that rather than it being 110 degrees outside one day and then you realize I got to have a unit.
And another thing that's great to get ahead of is, the storms and power outages.
Oh, yeah, Joey.
Yeah, some of these storms have been gnarly and people didn't have power for a while.
Yep.
And so if you're relying on medical devices or you kind of live out in the middle of nowhere and you need that
most
power.
People do now, yeah.
They can help you out there. That's All Pro Heating, Air, and Electrical. Of course, they're located in Tallahassee, Alabama, but they're serving the entire river region and surrounding areas. You can always go to allproheatingair.com allproheatingair.com. It's allproheatingair.com. Or call them at 301-1961. That's 301-1961. And be sure to tell All Pro that Joey and Eddie, those fellas on the radio, sent you. We'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
The Tierce family has been your local Roto-Rooter service since 1964. Drain cleaning, plumbing repair, and those troublesome septic tanks, no problem. Technology has changed a bit in the last 54 years. Video inspections of lines to locate problems is available, as well as scheduling your appointment online. River Region residents have trusted Roto-Rooter for over half a century. You can too. Call today at 272-7130 or visit online at rotorooteralabama.com.
Call Roto-Rooter, that's the name, and lethal troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
I'm Eddie Bader.
And I'm Hannah Grantham.
And together we're your listing specialists from Forest Meadows Homes and Land.
That's right. If you're looking to sell your home and get top dollar, look no further. Our secret weapons, top-notch marketing, professional photos, and dedication that's hard to find. And when we say dedication, we mean it.
We know the Tri-County market like the back of our hands. We've got the expertise and local knowledge to get your home noticed.
Why settle for less when you can have the best? Call us, the listing specialist, at 334-368-6358 and let us turn that for sale sign into sold.
News and talk without the static. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Now, talking about like this whole the system is what's keeping us down, or the system created by the bicoastal elite.
I thought it was the man.
The man
was keeping us down.
But I think it's better. Don't just attack Kamala. Don't just attack funnel cake dad, Tim Walz. He's America's funnel cake dad. You want some powdered sugar on it? Go away, mayonnaise face. You're scaring us. Stop spitting while you talk. Now I'm stuck on that. Oh, God. Like, you just go after them. You need to go after the larger system that is causing a lot of these problems. And one guy who's been giving voice to this, I think one of the better Trump surrogates, I know we're a little biased, a little partial here, Vivek Ramaswamy.
Oh, yeah.
And he just did a long, 15-minute sit-down interview with CNBC. I thought it was an impressive show from this guy. It's why I voted for him in the primary. But he makes the point that we're not up against an individual candidate. We're against a machine. We're against a system. These are just the latest people they've propped up.
Right.
The latest puppets put in place.
How you like these folks?
Let's listen into Vivek and his take.
So I'm in the camp, Andrew, of believing that she is just another cog in a wheel. We're not running against an individual candidate. We're running against that system. And I think a powerful message for Donald Trump is to say that we're going in to dismantle that system. That's really what Draining the Swamp was about the first time around. It worked for him in 2016, and I think that's a powerful message that we could leverage even more heading into 2024.
Yeah, I think that real basic.
Yeah.
Like, you can hit Kamala, you can hit Walz, you can hit, y'all are flip-floppers, y'all are fakes and phonies. What are your actual policies? And when are you actually going to sit down for a real interview and stop acting like an actor?
Not going to happen.
But you should be talking about a larger indictment of the establishment, including Republicans.
But they are the establishment, Joey.
Yeah, like all sorts of folks, though. Like, not just, it's Kamala and Biden. It's like, who's running the country right now? Who are these people actually pulling the strings? We're going to reward this system? You know, as far as I'm concerned, Kamala Harris is just the latest vaccine they want you to get.
100%.
She'll keep you safe, and it'll be effective.
Until they don't like her anymore.
Right. Seriously, she's like somebody they cooked up in the lab. It's like, jab this in your arm. It'll be good for you.
Yeah.
You won't be like Fauci. I've been sick with COVID 3 times after 6 shots.
Yeah. Got nothing nice to say about that.
But here's another one from Mr. Ramaswamy, as Trump calls him. talking about some of the positive issues. So it's not just about criticizing a system or Kamala or funnel cake dad. It is about, well, actually laying out what are we going to do in a positive direction. Let's listen in.
Especially in the tech sector, you have people sitting on large, long-standing embedded capital gains. And so for people to understand what this means, it means you have to pay taxes on sales that you have not yet made. Yep. And even forget the stock market and think about even everyday Americans across this country. That means that if you're a farmer or if you're a small business owner, you will owe taxes with cash you literally do not have in your pocket to pay those taxes. That is a formula for a second Great Depression. And it is something that's been in the bloodstream of Democratic policy for a long time. Go back to Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders' plans of a wealth tax, even in the 2020 primary.
No, let's repeat that. A tax on unrealized capital gains.
Like your house.
That's insane.
I like what he brings up, but for everyday people, like your house.
Yeah.
So because you can't afford the taxes on your house,
they get to take it.
Yep.
Effing criminals. But that's one idea they're pushing out there. But I picked the wrong clip. This is actually them going through the long list of things. Like, okay, they haven't presented policy, but actions speak louder than words. Here's the actions Harris took while a senator and while running for president and while as vice president. So one is taxing unrealized capital gains.
I think this idea is here to stay for the Democrats. That's a big one. I think Tim Walz's selection as vice president says a lot. That's the first real presidential style decision we've seen Kamala Harris have to make. She went with somebody who at the state level has favored increasing taxes on capital gains. In that case, it was unrealized, but they have talked about unrealized gains and taxing them. And I do worry about that, what that means, not just for the stock market, but for everyday Americans across the country.
The stock market, if there's not 60 votes for that in the Senate, the stock market doesn't have to
60 votes, sure.
Yeah, 60 votes, or if you agree. I respectfully disagree with one aspect of that, because Kamala Harris has been the chief proponent of ending the filibuster to ram through her policy objectives.
Of course.
Yeah. And so if she's the president of the United States, and in my view, God forbid, a Democratic Senate to aid her, that could be 51 votes. And could you get to 51 votes on a major change in tax policy like that? I think the answer is absolutely yes. I think that's conceivable. And so for a lot of business leaders across the country, one of the questions they might want to ask is which is going to be the administration that's more friendly to business? Well, we don't know where she stands on tariffs. We don't know where she stands on a lot of other questions. But on tax policy alone, the idea of not just raising tax rates, but raising tax rates and applying taxes on unrealized income, that is a catastrophe of epic proportion.
Really is.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of continuing to pound the drum and get the message out. This part of the program brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. And there at Alabama Home Mortgage, Kim Williams and Madeline Cannon are ready to help you.
That's right.
So it could be you're looking to buy a home. Maybe just move to the area. You're not going to rent. You want to buy.
That's the thing to do.
Well, they're the best. They're at Alabama Home Mortgage. They can start with you if you hadn't done this before. Pre-approval is the first step. And they'll walk with you every step of the way, all the way to closing day. There ain't going to be any surprises on closing day either. It's not like one of these, online companies or one of these big companies where you're just a number.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, Kim started Alabama Home Mortgage because she knew she could add a more personal touch and actually get better deals for people at a faster time, faster turnaround. And they're still that way to this day.
That's right.
They have that personal element. They actually sit down, get to know you, understand your goals. And buying a home, or if you're looking to refinance a home, it could be you want to get out from a mountain of debt, especially credit card debt. It could be you're just looking to rearrange your finances. So maybe you're a veteran. You haven't taken advantage of the VA home loan plans. You want to reinvest in your property or do a huge family vacation or invest in your kids in some way. Like, they can help you out with all of this, whatever your goals at Alabama Home Mortgage. So call them today at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or you can always apply online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies. But Kim and Madeline prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368, equal housing lender. Coming up, we should have Caroline Dobson on
Excellent.
the show. She is, of course, the Republican nominee for the brand new Congressional District 2 that the courts imposed on
That's
everybody
right.
in the name of being fair. Mm-hmm.
Good to get an update. I'd like to hear how that race is going.
Yeah, because it's still, again, it's early.
It is early, but there's been some changes.
There's been a lot of changes. Like, has war started yet?
I keep waiting for it, man.
I haven't seen it yet.
Haven't seen it. Have not seen it.
So look forward to catching up with Caroline Dobson here in just a moment. Let's hit the top of the hour
All right.
break. More news and views in the afternoon after this.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. Donald Trump will have an opportunity to recalibrate his presidential comeback bid with a rally and speech in North Carolina that his campaign is billing as a significant economic address. The event this afternoon in Asheville. The former president has lost his bid for a new judge in his New York hush money criminal case. Judge Juan Merchan, in a decision posted Wednesday, declined to step aside. For more than a week, Ukrainian troops pushing into the Kursk region of Russia, just north of their border, in the most extensive incursion by Kiev's forces in the war. The advance has shown significant weaknesses in Russia's border defense and has embarrassed the Kremlin. The Dow had 203 points and the Nasdaq losing 30. This is SRN News.
Donald Trump's indictment proves that saving America is not going to be easy. There are entrenched powers that are fighting this with everything they've got. They want to keep control over the country, the narrative, and the nation's money supply. Hi, I'm Lance Wallnau. I'm a news analyst, a Christian author, an evangelical leader. I speak to millions of people every week, people just like you. You see, what the elites are doing is using inflation and government handouts and now central bank digital currencies to determine how they're going to control America. And that's why I recommend all Christians start a gold IRA from the Birch Gold Group. Because physical precious metals are one of the few ways you can maintain control over your own savings. To get a free info kit on gold IRAs, text the word FAITH to 989898. Birch Gold Group is the only gold company I trust. Get their free info kit and you'll see why a gold IRA can help you. There are no strings attached. Text the word FAITH to 989898 and you're going to be blessed by taking action right now.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From a little fender bender to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For over 35 years, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Maybe a few subtle changes to our forecast starting to evolve. I mean, we're still sunny and hot with highs in the upper 90s and triple-digit heat indices. However, a few blips may start to form on the radar later on this afternoon and this evening. And in fact, that'll be the case right on through the end of the week and over the weekend as well. Widely scattered. Good luck on your rain chances. Lows at night will be in the middle 70s. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Thank you for voting ASC Credit Union, the best credit union in the River Region 6 years in a row. As we celebrate our 70th anniversary, we are proud to be at the top of the list for the best credit union in the hearts of the communities we serve.
1819 News.
Alabama Congressman Mike Rogers says that the Trump-era tax cuts will either live or die depending on the results of the presidential election this November. Rogers is referring to the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017. He says it's set to expire in 2025. Donald Trump has said on the campaign that he intends to continue those tax cuts forward if he's reelected to the White House. However, Rogers says the Biden administration and Kamala Harris have already pledged to increase taxes on Americans should they regain the office. Rogers says that what Harris has planned will be in addition to the increase in taxes that automatically take place when the 2017 Tax Cut Act expires. Rogers says this election is about whether or not Americans want to see their taxes go up, as well as further expansion of government into our everyday lives. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
I'm Amy Beth Schaefer with Alabama Unfiltered Radio, and when I need the news and I need it fast, I turn to Andrea Tice and the Daily Detail. On my way in, it is the most convenient, best way for me to digest what's going on so that I can use it for our show. She tells you what's going on in Alabama that day first and fast. So listen to the Daily Detail with Andrea Tice. Don't miss out.
The Daily Detail is available wherever podcasts are found.
The Alabama Law Enforcement Agency is investigating a crash that involved a Mobile County school bus and another vehicle. There were 4 students and the bus driver on board when the crash occurred. The students were taken to a hospital and treated for minor injuries. The driver of the pickup truck had to be hospitalized. The city of Semmes is considering the creation of their own school system. This would separate that city from the Mobile County School District. The The Sem City Council hired consultants to conduct a study on the feasibility of this plan. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
At Thompson Tractor, we love being here, in the neighborhood, working alongside you, helping you, serving your needs, growing right along with you. No matter the size of your project, we have a complete inventory of small to mid-sized machines to help you tackle any job. Fact is, Thompson Tractor is your go-to source, the best equipment in the business. Legendary Cat machines like compact track loaders, dozers, excavators, and more. And when you buy Cat Yellow Iron, you're backed by Thompson's trusted service and support from day one. We're all about boosting your productivity and your bottom line. Always have been. Always will be. Like right now, with financing starting at 0% on all compact equipment. Whether you're just starting out or have been at it for a while, if growing is where you're going, let's get going together. Visit ThompsonTractor.com for details and locations. Thompson Tractor, we're here for you.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm Joey. Eddie is still here. Eddie, how you darn?
Doing good, man. Doing good.
And as promised, joining us in the studio, Caroline Dobson, candidate for Congress here in the House. How you doing, Caroline?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Good to see you. So, as we were talking about off air, lots happened since we last spoke.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, quite a few historical events have happened just in the past 6 weeks that very much impact the Congressional District 2 race. So it's been very interesting.
So where to begin? I started the week off. We opened the segment where I was talking to ChatGPT. Mm-hmm. And it's now a voice function, and it's pretty cool, except I asked it, when was President Trump shot? And it's there are no credible reports or sources that Trump was ever shot. And it's just like, it's not just ChatGPT. It seems like Google, everything is trying to suppress that even happened.
Right. And especially when, in the hours and days after it happened, you had so many Americans on both sides of the aisle really recognizing how valiant he was. And again, I think an important point to make too is because he kept his cool and was so courageous in that moment of extreme danger that most of us fortunately never have to experience. The crowd stayed calm too. I mean, I think we cannot overestimate what could have happened if the crowd had started stampeding
out. Yeah.
And also what I definitely also think because of the timing of the investigation to the Secret Service coming right before the August recess for Congress, I fear that won't be revisited when they're back in session, because I think we certainly need to get to the bottom of the failures. I think there were massive failures. But I will say, I think it also speaks really highly of Donald and Melania Trump, that they were not, you've never heard them criticize the Secret Service.
True. Right.
In the letter that Melania Trump put out, she was thank you to the Secret Service, and Trump's acceptance speech at the convention, he just was very grateful to the Secret Service. And again, I think it's very clear that there were some failures, and whether that's attributable to people not being qualified for their positions, people not doing their jobs right, or the rules of engagement being, that's what I hear from folks in the military. The rules of engagement are so cumbersome these days. The rules of you can shoot if you've been shot at.
Right.
So you
Right.
mean I can
You have
only
to wait to
shoot
get shot at.
if the other person has missed
Yes.
shooting me? And so I think we definitely need to get to the bottom of that. But I think that spoke volumes that the Trump family has not been pointing fingers about that.
Right.
Because that's, I think, a common criticism of Donald Trump is that people fear that he won't keep his cool under pressure and that he is petty and cast blame. Well, here's the ultimate moment of test, and he kept
True.
his cool. And he's not about blaming; he's about moving forward. But of course, this whole momentous incident has been buried, and we're instead talking about how Kamala's so brat, whatever
Right.
that means.
Oh,
Right.
Yeah, and I'd say the assassination attempt on Trump, like I do this every day, so I'm a little jaded, but everything seems so fake. And that was one of the realest things I'd ever seen. And then talk about fake, this whole switcheroo, taking out Joe Biden as the candidate, installing Kamala Harris, having America's funnel cake dad, Tim Walz, join her on the ticket. How do you think this changes the race nationally? But more importantly, how do you think Kamala being on the top of the ticket changes the race here in Congressional District 2?
If anything, I think obviously we're seeing a moment of increased attention on Kamala, and a lot of folks are referring to it as the Harris honeymoon, especially leading up to the DNC and probably for a little while afterwards. But I think when people start to really look at her record and even look at her own advertising, she's listing off all the problems in America and then saying she's going to fix them when she's been part of implementing all of those problems, as borders are. She was instrumental in opening our borders, which has had a tremendous detrimental impact on Americans. Also part of shutting the Keystone Pipeline down. I mean, you can name a laundry list. In addition to her stated policies on the campaign trail of mandatory gun buybacks, of banning fracking, some truly disturbing, and she's probably the most dangerously liberal presidential candidate we've ever had. So again, that is not really reflective even of the Democrat base here in District 2. So I think if anything, ultimately, again, even though we're kind of seeing this Harris honeymoon moment, I think it could even potentially help me because she is so far left and really unpalatable for the vast majority of Americans.
Well, and do you think your opponent would, number one, want to put her at arm's length or could do so believably? Like, I mean, people are in the district are going to get to know Shamari Figures as well. So, like, just a basic question, why you over your opponent, especially for that persuadable person out there listening?
Yes, no, absolutely. Look, I am running to fight for Alabama families. That means ensuring that our kids have safe communities to grow up in, and also ensuring that our kids actually have opportunities here in District 2. My opponent was part of Biden's transition team. So he was part of opening the border and making our communities less safe, making it easier for fentanyl to get across the border. Fentanyl, which killed 1,300 Alabamians in 2022. He was also, again, being part of Biden's transition team was, look at the first 100 days. Biden took the first steps towards diminishing our energy independence.
Yep.
Again, that 38% increase in energy costs since Biden took office. It's just facts. The average family of four in America is paying $950 a month more for basic living expenses than we were when Biden took office. It's not working, and my opponent was part of the Biden administration. Also, more recently, a deputy to Merrick Garland in the weaponized Department of Justice that we are seeing be utilized to go after political opponents instead of actually crack down on rising crime in our communities. My opponent also, when he worked for Obama, claims ownership of a clemency initiative program, which resulted in 1,500 criminals being released, only 5% of which met all requirements of the Clemency Initiative program, and over a third of which are now either back behind bars or awaiting trial for serious crimes like drug trafficking and murder. So if you just look at the facts of, who's going to fight to make sure that our kids have opportunities and that, at a basic level, they're safe when they walk outside the home or even safe in their home, it's going to be me.
Well, and as you get to know the district, and I know you've been traveling all over the district, how did those, like everything you just laid out, especially things like fuel costs, food costs, and just feeling like I'm not I worry that sometimes people don't even feel like they're heard or represented at all right now.
Absolutely. And especially that's the case in rural America and small town America. They especially feel left behind because, again, so many of the industries in our small towns are agriculture, manufacturing, transportation related, and the lack of energy independence has disproportionately impacted those industries, combined with the overregulation that we see that the Biden administration has just been meting out. For instance, the Biden administration recently rolled out a whole bunch of nursing home regulations that would result in the average nursing home facility in America having to pay an additional $300,000 a year to comply with those rules. And you look at, again, a lot of the communities here in this district. I mean, nursing homes are a vital part of not only, providing services for the elderly, but providing employment. And again, a lot of small towns, unfortunately, because there aren't as many opportunities, are disproportionately, older folks, population wise. And these are people that have worked hard all their lives. They've given back to their community. This is their home. They want to live in that community. And you're going to see nursing homes shut down if Kamala wins and those rules stay in place. That's just one example. Trucking industry, construction industry. I mean, you name it. Every industry has it's just really disturbing the degree to which the Biden administration has, not only again been asleep at the wheel with respect to the border, but they've been actively and antagonistically stymieing the growth of American jobs and American opportunity.
But and I'd imagine too, especially in rural Alabama, I know Montgomery families who are trying to raise small children. Obviously J.D. Vance, I saw Senator Britt also talking about child care costs. Would you be for something like increasing the, say, child tax credit? Or I mean, I know there's a lot of different ways to go about trying to help with raising a family right now.
Yes, no, I absolutely would. And that's another thing, Kamala's on the record for wanting to do away with that. She's really, in so many ways, economically anti-family when it comes to crime, anti-family, and then certainly ideologically is certainly anti-family and anti-women and girls. You look at the Biden-Harris administration proposed amendment to Title IX, it erases all of the work that's been done over the past 50 and 60 years to ensure that girls have an equal playing field. And I've got 2 daughters, and I played club sports in college, and it's very important to me that girls' sports are for girls only, that my daughter doesn't get punched in the face, that she doesn't walk into a locker room, at age 14 and there's a biological male standing naked there in front of her. I mean, this is very real, and it's very much happening. And Kamala is in full support, is pushing these amendment changes. And, for the sake of women's rights, we have got to stop that.
Again, folks, we're talking to Caroline Dobson. She is a candidate for Congress in the brand new Congressional District 2, which includes a lot of this listening area. Then it stretches into West Alabama and down. It sinks down into Mobile. So I think there are folks, as you're getting to know the district, a lot of folks who are voting getting to know the district as well.
Right.
And I can just I can just picture it. And I haven't done this in a long enough time, but just driving into rural Alabama, so much of the social experimentation and engineering that we were just talking about last hour, this bi-coastal elite that wants to have all these policies like open borders or say DEI regimes and all this stuff. And they don't seem to have to bear the consequences that would happen to everyday people. And I can just envision an Alabamian, say the rural part of the state, going, "What is this crap? Like, why are we even talking about
this?" Right. And meanwhile, that social experimentation, you also see the Biden-Harris administration doing that with our military. The combined branches of the military last year, and this is according to data on the Department of Defense website, they missed their recruiting targets by over 41,000 troops.
Wow.
That's not insignificant.
Nope.
And there's a reason for that. It's because young people, they don't have faith in our commander in chief. And also they don't want to be guinea pigs for liberal social experiments, whether it's the vaccine, whether it's, all the emphasis on trans folks in the military and really just going above and beyond to compartmentalize and create identity politics within the military. It's a little Lord of the Flies when we should be, especially considering the state of global affairs and the rise of China, Russia, Iran, we have got to be focused on combat readiness, plain and simple.
Right.
We've got to be focused on recruiting the best and the brightest. I recently heard Jimmy Rain speak. He's an incredible speaker and cares so much about our country. And he was saying, look, I played football. You let everyone try out for football, but you would be insane to put everyone on the field.
Right.
You put your players that have worked the hardest and they perform the best on the field. That's capitalism. And that's also what we should be doing on our military. I guarantee our military will be absolutely as diverse as it needs to be if we just focus on recruiting the best and the brightest.
Yep. Now, I would agree with everything you just said in terms of the recruitment problems. In particular, they're having trouble with the South, like in our part of the world and the country.
Right.
I would add to it one thing, though, because today we were just looking at the Taliban celebrating 3 years with all this American equipment. And I think of all the other wars of choice that go back. I think there are a lot of, say, men who maybe served in Iraq and Afghanistan and have sons who probably, if the son asked them, should I serve like you, are saying no.
Yeah.
And I think it has a lot to do with, for some reason, when we go to war, we're not winning them, or at least doesn't feel like winning.
Right. No, I mean, part of that is, as I mentioned earlier, rules of engagement. They are so cumbersome and convoluted, and the result of bureaucrats acting as Monday morning quarterback without having ever actually been in the line of duty. Another part is that we're lagging behind in the production of materiel and equipment and technology. The Chinese Navy is now bigger than ours. We are not in the top 10 countries in the nation for shipbuilding, for instance. We don't have capacity to build icebreakers. We're thinking about where would global conflicts be? Russia. We don't have the equipment and technology that we need. And District 2 actually plays a really important role in ensuring that we can catch up. There's Austal and Airbus are in this district, as well as Lockheed Martin in Troy. Of course, a lot of industries that support Fort Moore, Benning, whatever you want to call it, in Columbus, over in Russell County, which is in this district. And then, of course, here in Montgomery, Maxwell Air Force Base, the Air National Guard, F-35. So this district is really important to really the security of the entire country.
Well, and if you think of, as we were saying in the last hour, the muscular classes, that is construction and so many farming and mining and so many things that we could do. It sounds like and it sounds like you're on board with this, if there is a plan to say start a decoupling from China, or at least near-shoring supply chains to Korea and whatnot, but also bringing them back home, sounds like District 2 is ripe for some of that industry to come back.
Absolutely. But, that's why it's so important that we get Trump back in the White House, that we flip the Senate and we keep control of the House, because if we want to decouple from China, we cannot do that right now under all of the regulations that are meted down from the Biden administration, especially when it comes to electric vehicles. There's no way that we can comply with those mandates by 2032 as it is anyway. But and that's probably the goal of the Biden-Harris administration, is to make us more dependent on China. But, in order to decouple, we've got to eradicate those regulations that try to control what vehicles you and I buy. We don't have the lithium or the copper, and that would inevitably have to come from China. A lot of the rare earth minerals required for that. So yes, I think District 2 would play a role in our decoupling from China, but we've got to win this race, and we've got to win the presidential race, and also flip the Senate, which obviously Alabama doesn't have control on flipping the Senate, because we've got two great senators as it is, but at least when it comes to the House and presidential race, we can make a difference.
Yeah, and I'd imagine as we get closer, because it's still early, there's going to be national coverage of this race. We'll see how that goes. Again, folks, we're talking to Caroline Dobson. She's a candidate for Congress in the brand new District 2. If you want to get in with a comment or question, that's 272-9228, 334-272-9228. If there's somebody out there listening here in the area and they want to help you out, how can they do so?
Yes. No, we could use any and all help. We'd love for you to have a yard sign if you're interested. You can request one on our website. Also, we're going to have door walkers and phone bankers. You don't usually see a contested election in Alabama, but this one is. So we need all hands on deck. Turnout's going to be key, as is election integrity. So we also are calling for poll watching volunteers. And then, of course, financial support's huge. The Democrats are going to throw everything they've got at this race. This district includes 3 media markets, so it's really expensive to go up on TV throughout the district, almost $400,000 a week when you count all 3 media markets. So if you're able to contribute, that would also be much appreciated. DobsonForCongress.com. That's DOBSONFOR Congress.com. Also have accounts on X, Truth Social, Facebook, and Instagram, Dobson for Congress.
Well, there you go, folks. Let's go to the phones. And line 1, you're on there with Caroline Dobson.
Red Top here. Caroline, first of all, congratulations for your win in the primary.
Well, thank you.
And I am upset because here I am, an ultimate warrior campaigner, and Joey and Eddie can tell you I work very hard for the Republicans, and I'm not a Republican, I'm an independent. But I've arranged road rallies, put up hundreds of signs. I don't have anything to work with this time. Where is all the promotional material? Where are the signs? Where are the Trump signs? Where are the Caroline Dobson signs? They should be out already. What's going on here?
Well, we have signs. So if you go to our website, you can request one, and we will deliver one to you. We will really start pushing them around Labor Day. Just logistically and pragmatically, a lot of folks are mowing their grass about once a week this time of year. But I also know the Montgomery GOP is opening a headquarters on September 9th, I believe.
Where is it going to be? Does anybody know?
I do not have the address on me, but I can
get it to us.
Yeah, I can get it to Joey and Eddie, and they can make an announcement. But if you'll go to our website, there is a place to click request a yard sign, and we'll get one dropped off to you, one or however many you want. Would love to get those dropped off to you.
Well, and I'll say this goes across the board, and the Republican Party, the Republican leaders are not supporting Donald Trump. All the Democratic Party, all the Democratic big shots are coming out for
lockstep.
The idiot.
Right, right.
This is just like last time. This morning I hear on NPR News, and no, I don't. I listen to the enemy because I need to know what the hell.
Right. No, absolutely.
And also, I listen to news from 6 countries every day religiously live. And so I'm the best informed international news person you're going to talk to on this radio station. And they're all against Trump, too. And so we got to work extra hard because we're up against the same wall we have been against the last 2 elections. We don't need to have Shamari Phillips in, and we got to get your name out there. He's got better name recognition around here. So I will be hitting your website and requesting signs because I want to get rid of this mess.
Thank you so much. I appreciate
Roll
it.
Tide, go Trump. God bless you.
See you, Red Top.
Humble as always, Red Top.
Always.
And let's go to line 3. You're on there with Caroline Dobson. Who's this?
Hey, this is the biologist.
Hey, biologist.
My question is, what's your opinion on all these foreign countries buying land up in the United States? I mean, in Arkansas, they've kind of shut that down. But you got China buying land, and I live at Snow, so your signs are all around me. And a French company is trying to buy 2,400 acres of Woodley Road to put a big solar farm on, supposedly to feed Facebook, the Meta, over there.
Right.
So this is a French company. What's your opinion on all these foreign, and there's some big foreign companies that are buying timberland in Alabama, all over the place. And being a wildlife biologist, they're going to come and cut, rape, slash. They don't care about Alabama.
Right.
They're just trying to make a profit, and they're from other countries. There was about 400,000 acres sold. I forgot which company it was, but they're a foreign country or a foreign company. A bunch was sold in Lowndes County. So, what's your opinion, or what do you think about all these foreign companies? And I'll hang up after I finish this and listen. But buying land in the United States, large. It's not like buying a 2-bedroom house.
Right.
This is hundreds of thousands of acres of U.S. soil being sold to people who don't even live here and don't care about us in Montgomery County or in the United States. I'm going to hang up and listen. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, no, that's a great question. I guess I have kind of a, two-part response. I mean, first of all, I think it's incredibly dangerous when we see our enemies and companies funded by our enemies buying ag land and also land near military installations. Right. That's incredibly scary. And I will say that Senator Brett and Senator Tuberville, I think, have co-sponsored a bill called the FARM Act. FARM, that's the acronym, but it's to preclude China, Russia, Iran, and North Korea from buying American ag land and land around military installations. I think we should also extend that to mineral rights and water rights
100%.
too, because in a lot of states, not so much in Alabama, but in a lot of states, those rights are separated, and so someone may actually own the ag land, but if China comes in and buys the water rights, then you can't produce that. So I think that's incredibly important. And then secondly, that's one of the reasons that we have got to repeal the Inflation Reduction Act and all government subsidies of solar energy, of wind energy. We've got to be not only energy independent, but energy dominant. Look, if those technologies develop and they ultimately prove to be able to sustain themselves and actually make a profit, then that's great.
Everybody will be for it then.
Absolutely. But right now, I mean, get to the root of the problem. That French company wouldn't be coming in wanting to buy land in Snowden if the government weren't subsidizing solar energy. So we've got to kind of get to, I always, growing up on the farm, it's like nip it in the bud.
Yes.
But I mean, we have got to stop using American taxpayer dollars to pick winners and losers in energy.
Yep.
Yeah, and it really is a shame that we seem to be losing our civic sense of ourselves to the, let's get the latest crony scheme out there.
Right.
I'm all for innovation and making money.
Sure. But in a capitalistic way, sink or swim, a little bit of, capitalistic Darwinism or something. But,
So as I'm looking at this change, because there's I saw, she's from Prattville, Caitlin Collins, CNN anchor. She was saying that Trump just doesn't know how to go after somebody who's 20 years younger than him, who's a woman and all this stuff. I mean, we talked about the honeymoon phase, but do you really buy this? Do you think there's breadth and depth to it?
Yeah, well, no, I was asked on a more mainstream media interview yesterday, well, don't you think Kamala adds youth to the ticket?
What?
And I said, she's 59, which don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm not ageist, but no, I mean, JD Vance adds youth. And I'm really excited to see him as the pick. I think he's got an incredible story, one entirely self-made. And a very remarkable and hardworking person, and then also someone who served his country. And really kind of the true American. And Usha is incredibly impressive too. I'm a huge fan of her. I'd love to see more of her speak as well. But I think they really represent what young conservatism is all about. I think I think Gen Z is starting to realize that if they want to buy those Taylor Swift tickets, they've got to have a good job to do it.
Right. I've heard it described that Gen Z is, I guess they're the folks raised by Gen X. And so they have that, for lack of a better term, burn it down. I kind of see through the BS. But they also have a much more entrepreneurial side to them.
Right.
Like you're saying.
Yeah.
And I think that gives me a lot of hope when I just look at younger media and a lot of the energy around all sorts of different developing industries. I know there's a big town hall, I'll be there, for Coinbase actually here in Montgomery, which is a big deal. I think it's their first Alabama trip.
That's right. That's at Prevail Union at 4:00. So very excited. I think not just cryptocurrency itself, I think is a huge opportunity. And I think there's a lot of potential application in rural areas too.
Oh, definitely.
Because of all of Biden's regulations on the banking industry, unfortunately, you see a lot of community banks closing.
Yep.
And so this could be an alternative. The ETF is a really exciting opportunity. And then you just look at the technology. And when it comes to voting integrity, blockchain technology could really be the way of the future in ensuring election integrity. So yeah, that's at Prevail Union. Prevail Union actually accepts payment by cryptocurrency.
Oh, cool.
Now, and then our campaign does as well. So
Excellent.
if you are interested, those of you listening, in donating to a campaign using cryptocurrency, check out our website.
Again, that's Dobson for Congress.
Yes, DobsonForCongress.com.
And again, whether you're looking for a sign or you want to volunteer or you want to give a monetary donation, DobsonForCongress.com. And well, I appreciate your time, Caroline.
Yeah, no, thank y'all. Always a pleasure.
And let's do it this sooner rather than later.
That sounds great. I appreciate it.
More news and views after this.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
For 65 years, Guardian Credit Union has been your trusted financial partner. And now we're proud to extend that trust further by introducing Guardian Insurance Services. Whether protecting your home, car, or even your business, we've got the coverage that fits your needs. Our team is here to guide you every step of the way with the personalized service you know and love. Call 334-819-7555 for a free quote today. Guardian Insurance Services, building on 65 years of trust, now safeguarding your future.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Hi, this is Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop. Listen every Saturday to Winning Wellness and learn from experts in different fields of science and technology how nutritional supplements can help you.
Listen to Winning Wellness every Saturday at 10 a.m.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage. For many years, my team and I have worked diligently to provide our veterans with top-notch service, as it is our honor to serve those who have served us in the armed forces. Madeline and I are certified veteran lending specialists. Nationwide, there are over 22 million veterans that qualify to purchase a home through the VA loan program. Yet less than 2 million of them currently have a VA home loan. Many lenders do not keep up with the ever-changing guidelines and benefits of the VA loan program. They are intimidated by the program, resulting in many veterans not obtaining VA loans. This is unacceptable. The VA home loan program offers service members and veterans with 100% financing. You've already paid your down payment. If you are currently serving or have honorably discharged, we would love an opportunity to discuss how the VA program can serve you. Give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223 or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time. Thank you for your service. NMLS 1586368, Equal Housing Lender.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of H&H Carpets, in stock specials on waterproof 20 mil wear layer luxury vinyl plank and blowout prices. H&H Carpets for all your flooring needs.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Maybe a few subtle changes to our forecast starting to evolve. I mean, we're still sunny and hot with highs in the upper 90s and triple-digit heat indices. However, a few blips may start to form on the radar later on this afternoon and this evening. And in fact, that'll be the case right on through the end of the week and over the weekend as well. Widely scattered. Good luck on your rain chances. Lows at night will be in the middle 70s. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Have the best looking lawn in the neighborhood with help from Capital Tractor. Wet Bobo here. Don't miss our Buy a Mower, Get a Blower sale going on now. Buy any Kubota mower on our lot and get a Steel handheld blower absolutely free. Kubota and Capital Tractor, Montgomery, Brundage, and Greenville.
The River Region's first and only news talk station on FM. Live, local talk. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
That's how you conduct yourself in a democracy.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I appreciate Caroline Dobson's time.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, it's going to be a heated race. And I know everybody's like, where's the signs like red top? No, Labor Day is a good marker. I think a lot of money is going to be spent. A lot of activity on the ground will be happening for
Also,
both
the
candidates.
Practical side, I get it when she's talked about mowing. Yeah. As somebody that puts yard signs out for houses, yeah, they disappear in the grass in a couple of days around here pretty quickly this time of year.
I'm just tired of mowing.
All right.
I stopped mowing.
You've hired someone to take your place. Okay. Oh, that's fine. That's acceptable. A little young in your life to be doing that, but whatever.
No, there was one day where I walked out there, and my arch nemesis, the wasp.
Is there to greet you?
They were like all around the back shed where the mower was, and wait, I need the fuel for the blower, and it's in that other one where they all. So I'm like,
So a couple of wasps.
I don't know. It wasn't just that. It was like I got tired of. It wasn't the mowing. I like mowing because you can listen to something and just zone out. I hate cutting back shrubbery. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let me tell you.
I hate it. It's so tedious.
What you do is you get that spray stuff that kills them, Roundup. You never have to cut them.
I mean, big, huge bushes. Like having to trim them back and
got
stuff.
a chainsaw?
Well, I've got a pretty nice steel
there you go. No more bush.
multi-tool. It's modular. You put a blower in it. You can put a
But
hedge
your
clipper on
neighborhood,
it.
they appreciate big bushes like that. They like the nicer things.
What did you just say about my neighborhood?
They like the nicer things, like the big bushes.
Anyway, thank you again to Caroline Dobson.
That's great to see
being
her
on the show. Yeah, it's looking good.
Yeah, and she's still going, dude. Like the Energizer Bunny, man. She's still going.
Mm-hmm.
We are in overtime.
But it just does feel like a decade's happened in the last month.
Yeah.
And you got to wonder,
What
again,
else is coming
what's
up?
the next shoe to drop? Could it be they finally admit that we're in a recession? Or are they going to wait till after November before they
it's
start
gonna be
admitting
after
something
November.
like that?
And then it'll be Trump put us in this recession.
In a second, we're going to go to Peter St. Ange. First, though, normally we talk to him at the end of the second hour, but he's on a trip.
Yeah, he's
Michael
on a little
Cohen
holiday right
is
now, I
on a
believe.
trip. But Cohen's Electronics and Appliances is the place to go for, great products, whether you're talking
No doubt.
TVs or audio solutions from traditional speaker systems to the Bluetooth ones they now have. The Sonos systems are just fantastic. The massage chairs are.
That's what I'm talking about.
I really am eyeing a captain's chair. Captain.
Really?
Yeah. They're
Nice.
comfy, and they don't have a huge footprint like a
No.
normal recliner, but they're
No, a lot
still
of times you
just
can
as
do
comfortable.
right up against the wall with them, too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I've been looking at that.
Well,
And
you got a nice TV from there. You should have had the matching chair that goes with it.
Exactly.
That's a good idea.
And then, of course, they have the appliance side of the store. It starts with the grills.
Oh, yeah.
And then you see the stovetops, the ranges, the refrigerators, the washer, dryer units. But when it comes to Cohen's, it's not just that they have great products, and they do. Great selection. They have amazing service.
They do, Joey.
So they can deliver to you, install stuff, take away that old fridge as they're installing the new one, too. That's probably one of the biggest hassles of buying big items.
Yeah, what are you going to do with the old
What are
one?
you going to do with the old one? They'll take it off your hands.
Great idea.
And, of course, installing TVs, sound systems, they can do it all there at Cohen's. Really great folks. And service even after the sale. Say something goes wrong. Doesn't happen often, but when it does, they got your back.
They sure do.
So check them out today. They're a true institution for good reason, folks. You can always go to thinkcohens.com and, shop from home. But I really encourage you to stop by the Boulevard, 2515 Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery. They're open 9 to 6, Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 on Saturdays. And
That's
be
right.
sure to tell them that you're Joey and Eddie, those fellows on the radio, talking about you. Okay. Should we go to a call here real quick?
Let's take a call.
Yeah, I'll go to Peter St. Ange in a second. Line 1, you're on there. Who's this?
Hey, bro.
Hey, Rand.
Randall, what's up, man?
And to tell y'all, my uncle used to work for him when it was then for him it was a different name. So he always bragged about his past jobs, and that was one of them. And but Joe, I just want to ask, did the folks coming with the Bitcoin stuff? I hope they sent you a special invitation and got you a special table, because there is no way that they should be in this state this quick when they hadn't been on the road. I think you are the reason you talking it up.
No, I don't know about
people
that.
Man, you know how long you've been talking about this and telling people we need to get on board, and telling
For almost a
telling
decade now, yeah.
Yeah, and telling even the people who make it happen. And now they're here. You deserve a spot at the head table.
I'm just a jackass on the radio. I did get a special call from a guy with the first name of Paul, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to the thing, and I felt real special afterwards.
All right, well, I hope he gave you more than just a call. That's all I wanted to say, man. Main thing. This is your doing, and can't nobody else claim fame to it, no matter what they say.
Well, I kind of like these pep talks, Randall, especially in the sultry voice you've been using lately.
Yeah, thank you, sir. I know you. You know how I love it so much.
You know how I love it so much. Yes, I appreciate it, Randall.
All right, Randall. Take care, buddy. Love you, man.
Yeah, like you can get real close to a microphone. It's called the proximity effect. So more bass ends up in your voice. I mean, it's better to back off the damn thing.
Yeah, because when people meet you, they go like, all right, who's the guy here on the radio?
Right. Well, and it's more like a rock DJ thing. Like, that was then.
Oh, I love it when
this is now.
Greg will turn his on and suddenly just flips up a switch. It's hysterical. He'll go into radio guy.
And people say I have a radio voice. I suppose I do.
You got a face for radio, that's for sure.
I will kick your ass.
That's why we have the internet.
I will kick it. Don't be talking to me that way.
That's why we have the
I
internet.
will whoop you.
And we keep going through cameras.
I don't care if we have congressional candidates. I don't care if we have senators and
bring
mayors
in the DA.
and sheriffs and even the attorney general himself. I will whoop you if you keep talking this way to me.
You say that, but he's not here right now. But when he was here, you had a much different tone about the whole thing.
Because I like to be polite and a normal human being, but sometimes you bring out the animal in me. That sounded wrong. Let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's this?
Eddie, you ought to hear what it says about you when you're not there. What's so disconcerting? I mean, it's bad enough when you're there, but behind your back, man.
It's even worse.
Anyway,
bring out the animal in me.
But
I
we
need a
all talk
girlfriend.
about you behind your back. That's the problem, So.
It's always with love, though.
Most definitely. So, I'm looking at this Kamala Hot Waltz ticket and kind of sprung up like a little mushroom after a spring rain. And I'm just looking and saying, what will it take, or what difference would it make if she started losing popularity, which she will, and they just decided, well, she can't win either, let's pick somebody else.
We're going to find out.
Was that even a possibility? Do you think they'd even try it at this point?
I mean, if it got desperate enough.
Yeah,
but this
I
is
think
why
so.
they've tapped Funnel Cake Dad to back her up. Hey, you kids ever tried an elephant ear?
Man, don't do that to me. It's almost the end of the day.
You want some powdered sugar on it?
Yes, yes, I do.
Without, those kinds of bad thoughts bouncing around in my head. Oh my gosh! All he needs to do is dress up in a clown suit. The image would be complete. Put on a big old red nose and some floppy shoes. It'd be about perfect to scare anybody. Anyway, so I don't know. I'm not 100% that they are going to be the final ones to take the reins.
I agree with you.
Probably will happen, I guess, most likely, but it's just not 100% right now. I mean, anything can happen. And I guess, all these folks that holler and scream about democracy really just don't care about it at all, really. I think Biden and family has really got some burning embers there over this whole process. At least that's what Trump has done. And I think that's right. I mean, he had the votes. Now he just got run.
Yeah, got run out.
So, I mean, at the convention, who knows what's going to happen?
It's in Chicago. Chicago's got history.
When is the convention?
I think late this month. I don't remember.
I think it's in another week or so.
But, I want to say one other thing. The courts aren't done with Trump. They're still going to try to put him in jail. Y'all know that, right?
Yes.
I mean, even after trying to kill him, and they couldn't kill him.
They tried to kill him. They tried to put him in prison.
Yep.
They framed him for treason.
Yep.
They tried to impeach him for rooting out corruption. Like, it just... And this is why I was saying earlier, Vivek hit it out of the park. We're up against the system. Criticize Kamala and Walz and all you want, but criticize the system and what they've done.
Organized crime syndicate. Those are the words you have to know.
Yep.
to understand what's going on. It truly is that. And they are not done with Trump yet. If they got one more bite at the apple, they're going to try to put him in jail and then, flash those pictures up there. I don't know whether he'll be able, they'll be able to keep him in jail for more than a night or something. But, still, they'll have the photos. They can run around the country, carrying that around. Who knows, though? Maybe that'll even pump up his popularity that much more.
Well, and I also think Trump can lean into a lot of different feelings. He can lean into the sort of dramatic, over the top they've done with some of his speeches, but I think he doesn't need to come out of his own mouth, but they need to create media or have spokesmen emphasizing, for lack of a better word, the badass aspect. Like, put it all together.
Yeah.
So people go, this is what just happened in the last few years.
Good idea.
I think it would highlight a lot.
I think you're right about that. Well, let's see what Common Chameleon comes up with next. In the meantime, I'm waiting on this convention to see what will happen, too. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Enjoy the show.
See you, man.
This part of the program brought to you by River Region Contracting. And there at River Region Contracting, I know Todd Clark and the team are ready for your call.
You bet they are, Joey.
And you know what I love about them? They like to educate their customers.
Yeah, they will.
While they're doing the work. So it's, because sometimes somebody comes by, fixes it, and what did you even do?
Fixed it.
Right. They'll explain it. I'm not paying, I'm not your teacher.
Yep. Oh, you're exactly right.
But I love it when a company takes the time to actually be like, we're going to do this, this, and this. This is why it costs this.
Yep.
This is why you should probably go with this fix. Like, they really lay out, here's how you take care of your roof. And the beautiful thing with River Region Contracting is if you're just looking for peace of mind, like you haven't had your roof inspected in a while,
right?
Their inspections are always free.
100% free.
And their estimates are always free.
And have been accurate with me every single time.
And then they show up on time.
Yep.
They don't leave a big old mess. Like, you're not finding Faygo
no
bottles.
Nails,
and
no screws, no scrap
no
metal laying
fast
around.
food bags.
Don't find them, right?
Like, who got Popeyes?
You're
not going to get that sort of mess or that sort of just inconsideration.
Yeah.
That you sometimes
Lack of
see.
professionalism.
With River Region Contracting, they're true pros and they're great folks. So again, inspections and estimates are always free, and they're insurance specialists, so they can walk you through that claims process, make it a swift and easy experience. So again, check them out today. That's River Region Contracting. Let them prove to you why folks are calling them the premier roofing contractor here in the River Region. That number, 356-8635. That's 356-8635. And be sure to tell them that Joey and Eddie, those fellas on the radio, sent you. I guess we'll try to get to Peter St. Ange. We keep getting calls. Quick break. We'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
Hi, I'm Doug Singleton, Chairman of the Montgomery County Commission and a proud member of the Kiwanis Club of Montgomery. The Kiwanis Club of Montgomery raised hundreds of thousands of dollars through the fair to support charities that benefit children in the River region. We invite you to join us on Thursday, October 3rd for a special event, Taste of the Fair. For just $30, you can enjoy delicious samples from our food vendors and experience the fantastic fair food that we'll be serving this year. This year, all proceeds from Taste of the Fair will go towards providing a new turf for the Miracle League of Montgomery Field. The Miracle League offers children with disabilities a chance to experience the joy of playing baseball regardless of their abilities. Join us on October the 3rd from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. and get a sneak peek at the amazing fair food before the fair officially opens. Tickets are $30 and can be purchased at alnationalfair.org or at the fair office at Garrett Coliseum. Plus, with your ticket, you'll receive a $20 value ticket to return any day to the fair from October the 4th to October the 14th. Only a limited number of tickets will be sold, so get yours soon.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Live, local talk. The River Region's most trusted voice for news and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Ray Bowles from Bradville Carpet. Hey, Ray, how you doing?
Man, that was the quickest 30 seconds of my life. I'm not even prepared.
I don't tell Eddie the actual time.
No, and I just throw out numbers. I tell people all the time, 2.5 minutes. It could be a week. I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't
Hey, guys.
Eddie, from now on, you got to say it'll be the essence of a moment. Just more.
Essence? Ooh, let me write that down.
The essence of a moment.
Then I'll be prepared mentally. Because you don't realize how fast my mind works. He says 30 seconds. I'm having 15 conversations in my mind to myself before we ever go on that. Before we ever get on there. Yeah, my mind's a wonderful place. It drives me insane. You should have to live with me.
I bet.
Yes, the stuff I can. And poor old dad sitting beside me. That's why his hair's so white. It's not because he's 78. He's had to put it with me for the last 45 years.
He's still training you, I guess.
Yes, he's trying to. He's trying to, guys. But listen, we are loaded. I mean, like a crazy loaded inventory-wise. Over all the stuff I got back, I finally got my inventory done, and Dad's still a little cross-eyed over all of it. So please call me at 285-8117. I will give you one heck of a deal on this product.
Okay, that number's
And we can get it
285.
installed for you quickly.
Yeah, and quick turnaround, a great deal, great price. 285-8117. And when you call 285-8117, be sure to tell them you heard Ray here on the radio with Joey and Eddie.
Guys, y'all have a great day.
You too, bud. I bet he's so ready to get rid of that extra inventory. His dad's probably give him a hard time. When you gonna get it, son? 45 years, you ain't got it right yet.
It'll be the essence of a moment. Let's go to Duke. Hey, Duke, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, man. How you doing?
Pretty good, buddy. Pretty good.
But Joey, I heard a rumor now.
Oh, you did?
Yes, they said that Trump tried to get you to come up to North Carolina, wherever you're gonna.
Asheville?
Do a rally today, wherever he's going. So he wanted to get you to come up there. As popular as you are.
Oh,
with
sure.
The ladies and everything, as popular you are with the ladies and all the above and everything.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to get the crowd numbers up. So go help him out, please. Can you go help him out?
Yeah, but I'm not going to shake my backside like Megan Thee. You don't want to see me twerk.
Yeah, I don't.
That would be a sight though, watching you twerk, but trying to imagine. Imagine that, Eddie.
I let somebody else do that and just tell me how bad it was. Yeah.
Let's go, boys.
Oh, what? Oh, boy, old Trevor boy, he been struggling the last few days since last time I talked to you guys, man. He been
struggling.
He been lying about this man was on the helicopter with him when it wasn't the same man, and he.
We already talked about that since last time you called. We talked about that together.
You still stuck on Willie?
I think so.
Didn't
you?
No, Trump.
You didn't hear him with you didn't hear him with Elon Musk, that great conversation they had the other day?
I heard all that. But I did hear it. He kept on arguing with Willie about it and told Willie he was lying. That was you. But anyway.
We were going down. I saw
Don't
the
you
face.
remember, Willie? Don't you
I saw my
remember?
life flash through my eyes, and you
Willie-
said all those things about Kamala.
What was the damn man? I told you it wasn't me one time. Trump said, damn the hell it was. I got proof. He's like,
It
I got
wasn't
proof
me.
to show it.
Oh, God.
Hey, about that fake AI photos thing. Trump said, see, She ought to be locked up, damn it, making that fake crowd size.
Oh, it's the petty stuff is gonna exist because that's our media environment.
Yeah.
But I'm ready for a
Please.
little more seriousness.
So please go through this damn thing today and help him out with get his numbers up a little bit, Joey. Please.
Yeah, I'll see if they call on me. I probably won't answer.
You
But
gotta shake your ass and nothing like that. You gotta shake your ass and nothing like that. Just go out there and just do your DJ thing or something. Do some music for him or something.
yeah, like Bon Iver, sure.
Well, I kind of think that twerking thing might do something. Kind of with Duke on that. Yeah.
Anyway, I had to get a little jug in for half a second. I'm
I
sorry.
appreciate it.
Oh, all right.
See you, buddy.
Why does this Joey guy smell like vegan cheese? Like
Ooh.
it's so.
Ooh. That just smells like it would be disgusting.
I don't know what it smells like. It just seems like a good thing to say.
I keep forgetting to do the cream cheese thing you keep telling me on
Like
the grill.
the smoked cream cheese.
So you put regular seasoning on it. You like season it like a steak, or you just
or
set it?
season it like a pork shoulder or brisket.
I gotta try it because it sounds.
And you can do different seasonings, of course. Like one a little sweeter, one a little spicier. Just on tinfoil and smoke it.
All right, I'm gonna do it this weekend.
Low and slow, baby. Crackers? What's your preferred cracker pack?
I like a Ritz, and not the off-brand Ritz, not a stale Ritz. I like the real deal buttery.
You know, like the wheat Ritz?
Oh God, no.
Oh, thanks, Mom.
No.
Anyway, we're pretty much out of time here, but somebody's calling us
All right.
for some reason. You're on there. Who's this?
This is Chris from Tallahassee.
Hey, Chris. We really only have like 10, 15 seconds. What's up?
No problem. So a few days ago, I heard the folks on at between 9 and 12 talk about Taco Mama in Birmingham. I drove up there to eat Taco Mama, $75 for lunch, and I couldn't eat it. It was inedible.
Crap.
Good Lord.
Well, hate that happened to you.
Dude. Now I want some tacos.
You always want tacos.
It doesn't
You
really
were
take
always
much.
hungry.
Especially this time of the day. Like snack 30 kicks in.
Yeah. That's why you're gaining weight again. That's why I weigh less than you now.
You
big
are.
boy.
You are. You got me. I am trying to stay around 215, 220, so I'm still in the goal. But that 220 is approaching quickly.
Yeah, eventually, unironically, I can be like, hey, Eddie, say it with your chest. He's drowning.
That's right.
On that note, Greg Budell, Rosie Brock, they're next.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM.